So yeah, it's the Netflix series is called like This Is Pop, and there's an episode about auto-tune and the guy who invented it's on there. And
why would you watch that?
I love that Alex is on here asking us questions like, why would you watch documentaries about music? I mean, like, and half an hour of your life on just like people talking about music. This is why we're here.
There's a lot about T-Pain and how everyone was really surprised when he got on and he can actually sing.
Yeah, but I watch like live streams of bands I like. I listen to like, I love band autobiographies and band documentaries of bands I like or I've got a vague interest in, but I would never just go, oh, who's this? You know, oh, it's T-Pain. Why not? 20 minutes, go for it.
Love T-Pain. He's a bit of a commercial motherfucker, but I rate him.
like, I've got better things to do in my life. I've already written him off as shite, so it's all right.
People listen to the podcast, Al. It's the same thing.
Welcome to another episode of the Cacophony Sessions, and boy, have we got a jam-packed episode in store for you this evening. I'm your Funk Finder General, Dan Whitell, and tonight we search for undeniable songs of both the banging and the clanging variety. In order to determine whether a song is up to standard, I'm going to need some friends. But before we do the news, let's get to the who's, shall we? My co-pilots for tonight's adventure are Alex.
Are you a haunted house? Because I'm going to scream when I'm in you.
Tom?
I'd love to start with an apology for my profanity-fueled rant last time, but I don't. I stand by everything I said.
Dave?
I think if we spent the time we spent thinking about not spending money, spent that time on spending money, that'd be time well spent.
Deep, man.
Profound. The returning Martyn.
I went to my therapist and started crying, saying I've just ended a 15-year relationship. And my therapist said, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. And I said, don't worry, it wasn't mine.
And Player 6 has just joined the game. Please give it up for a new challenger. It's Dan B.
Atheism is a non-profit organisation.
Oh. So Dan, you join us on an episode in which we're going to give 2 examples of undeniable bangers, so we won't ask for a further one from you. But we are going to have to get to that most important of questions to begin the podcast, because we need to know what your favourite year in music is. We're going to get to know you over the course of this recording, but that other question is going to have to help to break you in, I think. So I know we've got shit to do, but I feel we need to discuss this first. So Dan, if you will, guide us through your favourite year in music.
I'm going to be quick, partly because I'm going to let the listeners in on a secret now. I've already told the rest of them what my favourite year was on a secret, unrecorded podcast. And I completely forgot what year I chose, actually, to be honest with you. So instead of repeating myself over and over again to everyone, I'm going to say that I'm 34. My musical taste is basically, it was anything from sort of mid-90s to the mid-2000s. That's my area that I was looking at. 94, great year. At the time, when I was 7, didn't seem that great because I was 7. But looking back on it, there's some absolute classics in 1994. Mm-hmm. But like I said, my formative years were probably 98 to 2005, that sort of area. Lots and lots of good songs from all sorts of genres.
Yeah.
But I think anybody who knows me knows I'm a big pop punk fan and knows that I have to go for something where pop punk was strong. Dave looks really distraught when I said that. He's reaching for the wine.
As soon as you fucking hit that time frame, I'm like, Jesus, don't put you back in the same bracket as every other motherfucker on here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
Al and
you
I
went
are
straight
kindred
into
spirit.
it, but it's fine. I appreciate the drama and there's bands I like there, but yeah, I'm out for a little
We
bit.
can't help it, Dave, if you're just wrong about
That's
your
it.
music areas. It's fine.
I'm right. It's fine.
right and
Everyone
wrong.
that lives in Plymouth has got the same opinion, so it's fine. Crack on.
So I'm going to go for... Now, okay, I actually chose 2006 last time we recorded this, but I've since changed my mind. I chose 2006 last time because it had a couple of really good albums. It had My Chemical Romance, Welcome to the Black Parade, and I think it had, I can't even remember now, I think it had Justin Timberlake's second album, or fifth album or eighth
Future
album or whatever
Sex
it
Love
was.
Sounds.
That one.
That's actually banging Timberland production.
There's a
well done,
great
you saved
album.
yourself.
Few, yes, excellent. Dave's back on side, but I'm going to slightly veer it back a tiny bit to 2004 for my actual proper final choice, because for me, Green Day's American Idiot is one of my favourite albums of all time. Don't actually like the title track as much as many people do, as obviously it was the big hit from that album.
I really like that song.
It's a fine song, it's okay, but for me the album works as an album. I'm that kind of person who loves an album that flows from one track to the next.
Yeah.
I can listen to songs randomly, whatever, that's fine, but I love listening to an album that has real progression throughout it, and for me that's what that album does. So I'm going to go for that. It also has lots of other good pop punk albums that year. There's probably some other good songs, but I mean, let's be honest, that's the only genre that matters. I'm going to stick with that.
Fighting words to start with.
I've spent probably hundreds of hours shitting on that genre, so
There we go. I've got to fight against that for you.
I was going to say you're a year out because 2003 was the best year. But
Okay, give me some. Why is that? Why is that?
why is that? Because Deftones' self-titled album, 65 Days of Static, Fall of Math. Listen to the first episode of the podcast and it will explain why.
Deftones is in danger of becoming the new Smashing Pumpkins on this podcast as well.
Oh, you wait.
I don't know why we do a favourite album, like a favourite year, because every time I don't remember the year I picked, and I'm pretty certain.
What's annoying is I like Deftones as well.
You picked 1999 now.
Oh, I was probably wrong, wasn't I?
I was going to say that there were some amazing albums in 2004, like Arcade Fire's debut album is 2004. That's a fucking brilliant album. Joanna Newsom's best album came out in 2004, which is The Milk-Eyed Mender. One from Martyn, Interpol Antics, came out in 2004.
Yeah. It's a classic.
And Kanye West's The College Dropout. So, it's a good year.
It is a good year.
Did unleash Kanye upon us?
It was. Well, before we find out what everyone's been doing, I'd just like to remind people that we'd love to hear your undeniable bangers and your favourite years on Twitter and Facebook, so please join the fray online. Don't forget to rate and leave a review where possible. It is time for the news. Martyn, you've not been on the last couple of episodes, so how's it going in your quest to get Baphomet to join us?
Well, Baphomet remains elusive.
Can we get that as a t-shirt?
It needs to be on a t-shirt.
No, I've just been busy working, all the time. Been out
Cycling around,
yeah.
Like a manimal in his flipping onesie lycra number.
Looking for abandoned mattresses.
Like, your quads must be made of granite.
Carved out of wood, man.
I'm carved out of fucking meringue.
Doesn't need a cork opener, he just pops the bottle up his ass and bonk. Stuff there like a number.
Can you imagine if that was this entire time when he says, I'm just riding my bike, that's just his code for fingering his bum? So we just had no idea. It's just been months of him fingering his ass. We had no idea.
Maybe his bike is like that bike from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where it has a dildo attached to the saddle.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
We foiled you, Martyn.
Been totally foiled.
Have you been up to anything musically?
Yeah. Well, I'm in a band at the moment with Tom, which I'm really quite into, but we haven't had a chance to play together as much as I'd like. Only again because of work commitments and stuff. But I'm writing a lot, so I've got quite a lot of material here that I'm working on. Again, I'm just really, really into Autolux and Failure. They're kind of like my two big influences at the moment. So a lot of what I do ends up sounding like that. But that's cool, because as soon as I bring anything into the rehearsal room, Tom will fuck it up with some weird 7/16 time signature or something.
Tom, how's your compositions? How have they been developing?
So I haven't done a huge amount. So I obviously have been playing in the band with Martyn and a few other guys, and so I've been working on a lot of that sort of stuff and just messing up their guitar riffs and turning them into something different. Generally, I end up, because I like everything to end up sounding melodic, although we go, he'll mess it up and put weird time signatures in, it always sort of ends up sounding like At the Drive-In, so it's all right.
It does end up sounding like At the Drive-In, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good
absolutely.
thing.
Because I don't just try and make it sound weird. I try and make it sound quite heavy as well.
I think, Tom, me and you are probably the more experimental of the group.
Yeah, I consider myself the cultured one, so I guess you can have that.
And I upgraded my recording setup in my attic, so that's a bit better. And I need to dig the double bass out because the band, there's some moments in the band that would really work well with some bowed bass. So I need to get back on that.
You want to play live, stand-up, double bass bow in a hardcore band? If that's the case, I want fucking front row tickets.
Yeah, that's exactly the plan. Because it's so I bought this.
Mate, that sounds fucking banging. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, it's I really want to do it because
like rockabilly bass to fucking like
yeah, absolutely.
Madball
because
or some shit.
Imagine bowed double bass run through my pedal board I use for my bass guitar.
Yeah, it's sick. It's like I've seen a few drum and bass acts like London Electricity and a few other people. They play like live orchestras in the back. It always sounds fucking sick. Like Ronnie Size did a gig with a full orchestra.
Ronnie Size did that really well. Like drum and bass with full live band is fucking amazing.
Tom, you're our man with the ear to the ground for new releases. Has there been anything since the last episode?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the last episode, I was bemoaning the fact that it had all dried up a little bit, whereas actually in the last week or so, there's been some absolute cracking releases. The Joy Formidable released a new album on Friday, I think, and it's straight away album of the year for me. I would be surprised if anything beats it. I bought their first EP in 2007, 2008, and I really loved it. And then they released their first album, which was mostly the tracks on the EP with like 2 extra ones. And at the time I was a broke student and was like, well, I'm not paying extra for it. I listened to their debut album again today. They'd reworked it all and made it a cohesive whole, and it's actually really good. But I'd written it off at the time. And then their second album was a bit rubbish, so I didn't really listen to it. But this new album is absolutely stunning. I think it's called Into the Blue. It's brilliant. It's got something of like the PJ Harvey to it, but with like a real shoegaze guitar sound and some really heavy moments in it. It's just fantastic.
I do fear that the person we've left in charge of the signal box for new releases is the absolute musical wild card of the
Yeah.
Death Heaven released a new album.
That's a good album. I listened to it today. It's really good.
I still need to listen to that.
It's not heavy, which I was really surprised at, because Death Heaven, I've seen them live a couple of times and they're brutally heavy. And then this album is like the mellow bits of Ocean-Sized mixed with the guitar sound of My Vitriol. And it floats.
It's very shoegazy.
Yeah, very shoegazy. But
You've literally just said everything that makes me now want to listen to it.
Yeah, I know.
It's all the bits I liked about them, and then they've just not done that. Great!
Can I just ask what shoegazy means?
Sounds like shitgaze.
You're going to get involved with that term pretty fucking quick.
You will
man.
get bored of that term. It's basically walls of guitar.
The term is guitarists looking at their shoes because they're so introspective on their kind of guitar wanky skills.
Or they're looking at their pedals, yeah.
It's very sort of washes of guitar noise.
That actually sounds way better than the phrase that you were using to describe it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, shoegaze is basically guitars that don't sound like guitars.
I've actually learned why they call it shoegaze.
Yeah, it's just, we've had this discussion before about like yacht rock. It's somebody that's said a dismissive term to like coin a genre, but they've kind of embraced it to clack it around. So journalists used to take the bits out of it by saying
it's that 100%. Yeah, it was used as a term. I can't remember who coined it, but it's an enemy journalist back in like 1990 who coined it as like an insult, but everyone went, yeah, stick with it.
Embraced it. Okay. I like to ask questions that maybe some of our less well-informed, like myself, listeners might also be asking.
If you want an introduction to shoegaze, listen to Loveless by My Bloody Valentine, and you won't go wrong. It's a perfect album in every way. From 1991, the best year in music.
Going back to new releases before we vanish up our own arses. Martha Wainwright.
What is it? That's already?
It is already. I've only had a couple of beers. Martha Wainwright's new album is fantastic. She's got a really unique voice. She's been going for years. Her new album is brilliant in a sort of folky country way, but there's some really pop moments on it that are really good. In metal, Wolves in the Throne Room, their album is just really heavy perfection. and Beyond the Buried in Me is like sort of crazy mathcore. It's Weird Time Signatures and heavy as hell. Just because I knew Dan was going to ask the question about what mathcore was. Some really good albums in the last couple of weeks. Most disappointing album, or the album that I cannot bear to listen to, but if you do want to, I think it's a band called War King, and imagine like every power metal cliche and put it into one album, and that's what it is. I got through 3 tracks and I'm surprised I made it that far. It is literally the worst thing I've ever heard, which means Al will love it.
Al sat there going, I've got to get that on my download
That sounds
list.
quite good.
I've downloaded it already.
The songs are all about like ancient Greek. There's a song like on it called Sparta, which is literally about the 300 and stuff like that. It's fucking up.
Have you even listened to that new album by Floating Points, Tom?
No, I haven't listened to that
they've
yet.
got. So that they were making waves in the house scene a few years back. I got a couple of vinyls of theirs like a few years back, but they're on Six Music and a few other places, but they're quite good kind of mid-range housey people. But they've done an album with the London Symphony Orchestra called Promises, so I've been listening to that. That's really good. You'd really enjoy it, I think, Tom, kind of like intellectual house.
There's only one other album that I enjoyed, and that was Vistas, who sound a bit like a less heavy Twin Atlantic, but it's good. That's really good.
I really like that band.
Twin Atlantic. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I see Twin Atlantic start as like an emo band and then get progressively more of a pop band. And
also, like, they don't hide their Scottish accents when they're singing.
Vistas are very similar, like Heart and Soul era Twin Atlantic. It's got a real that sort of vibe to it, and I really enjoyed it.
Tom, in liking Scottish band, shock.
Oh, no.
I know, it comes as a great big... Well, my favourite band of all time is Scottish. So that's Aerogram, by the way, not any of the other bands you might think it was.
I thought it was Mogwai.
Al, what have you been doing?
Well, I haven't been playing in a band because the guitarist and the bassist, they're in another band now. So shunned. Absolutely shunned.
We got recruited, I'm sorry, man.
And I know what's going to happen. In 2 months' time, their drummer will stop turning up and I'll get a ring saying, hey, fancy joining this cool band? I'm going to go tell them to go fuck themselves.
I'll spend about 2 years trying to get you on board.
Yeah. No, honestly, last podcast, copy, paste. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of Don Broco because I really like that band and their new album's out next month.
Yeah, I've listened to a bit of that.
And I'm just proper looking forward to that because their album Technology, like last year was not last year. It's bloody ages ago now. But yeah, I just love that band. It's the sort of music I wouldn't usually particularly like, just like quite pop rock with overproduced all that shit. But it's just really catchy and fun. So I've just been listening to a lot of that. Other than that, it's just the usual shit on shuffle that's happened to be on my computer. So a lot of metal, hardcore, and the old emo track. So, owl music. That's kind of it. And then painting miniatures, of course.
Dave, have you had any more gigs?
I haven't. I did have like a couple of trips to London since it's all released. So I went to the Tate Modern with the missus a couple of weeks back and had a quick glass of champers at the Shard and had like a bougie day out in London. Went for lobster at Soho and went to the Groucho Club and stuff. So we had a proper debaucherous day out, which was quite nice.
Nice.
Apart from that, I've just been like switching jobs and doing boring things with finance and mortgages and things. I've been listening to like old hip-hop mainly, like Primo production. I've been listening to Romesh Ronganathan's Hip-Hop Saved My Life because I fucking love it. Latest episode was with Rafe Spall, Timothy Spall's son.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's doing some project with him and he was just talking about, like, I didn't realise that he's like a mad hip-hop head and did loads of gigs that I think I went to in like South London when he was knocking about the same sort of time I was there. But apart from that, yeah, not really a lot. I haven't had any more gigs come up. I've applied to like a few places in Totnes. There's a brewery here called New Line Brewery that my mate's DJing at Halloween, so I'll be DJing with him there. And then I'm just trying to get some extra bits here, there and everywhere. But yeah, selling loads of vinyl still, going to the post office like 4 times a week on Discogs. But
I didn't know you sold vinyl. I just assumed you just accumulated it into one giant mass.
yeah, I buy collections and anything I don't want goes to the post office. But
Fair enough.
My inventory is so fucking massive that I get about 4 orders a week, and it's normally for like £4. So it's like, I can't be bothered to go to the post office for £4.
And Dan, you're not a musician. We brought you in as a soundboard so that we can go outside of our echo chamber. So, whilst I know you haven't been working on anything musical, is there anything you want to talk about that you've been up to?
You don't know me.
You've not been listening to me in the shower, clearly.
Well.
Vocalist. Well,
films and video games are up for grabs as well.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm still in the trying to catch up on The Witcher 3 loophole that I keep getting myself into, where I play it for a couple of days, absolutely love it, and then being a dad sort of gets in the way time-wise and all that sort of thing. So still going through that. Apart from that, myself and Dan, the other Dan, had a very fun, slightly debaucherous weekend in London ourselves a couple of weekends ago.
The Monopoly pub crawl.
The Monopoly pub crawl. The infamous, well, slightly infamous in that most people actually don't know about it, to be honest with you. Monopoly pub crawl, where you do one drink in every single location of the original London Monopoly board in one day. And that sounds okay. You don't do it in order, because if you did it in order, you'd be going from one end of London to the other and back again all over the place, zigzagging around. But you just do it sort of from the furthest out and weave your way into central London, and by 10 o'clock you're absolutely destroyed. We lost Dan, I'm going to be honest with you. He disappeared for about 3 hours. We did eventually find him again near the end. He was okay, I think. Where he was during those hours, nobody can really tell you. We haven't got CCTV.
According to my phone, I was at the correct pubs, but whether or not I actually
his
was,
phones are lying to you. We were at the correct pubs. The rest of us, the rest of the gang, were all there.
Did you lose him on King's Road? Because he often talks a bit of rough trade down there.
I've got to say, the last place we saw him was somewhere. Do you know what? I was drunk, so I can't remember. It was somewhere quite central in London. All I remember was I was hungry. There was 5 guys there, and we bought a lot of chips. And then I remember nothing after that, and you disappeared, and you weren't eating the chips.
Spiked.
Yeah, maybe. No, he wasn't.
Who knows?
He went missing before the chips, but because I was eating chips, didn't start looking till way after I probably should have done. So yeah, we did that. I've just been getting out a bit more. You know, we've had our obviously lockdown and all that sort of stuff. Been going out and seeing people, which is really nice.
I don't care for it.
Yeah. When I said that, I said, who am I? Who am I kidding? I'm not the most social person ever. Like, being locked in my room for a year and a half's not been the worst thing.
Tonight we're going to be running down our usual undeniable bangers. Now, if you're a new listener, an undeniable banger is a song that everybody will love and know, and an undeniable clanger is the opposite of that. But we put a little bit of a caveat on the undeniable clanger. It can't just be a bad song. It has to be a bad song from an artist who's maybe critically acclaimed or at least generally popular. We're going to get into things because we do have 12 undeniable bangers, hopefully, and 12 undeniable clangers. And we will start. I'm not going to reveal whether or not it's a clanger or a banger. But the first song that we are discussing tonight is a song from 2006.
Banger.
So it's not Dave's then.
Might be.
I'm joking.
It was a single from a Devonshire band, so a
There's
local
not.
band from us. And it was on their album Black Holes and Revelations. Now, the song itself is entitled Supermassive Black Hole, and the band is Muse. And this was one of Al's nominations. So firstly, do we think he's nominated it as a banger, or do we think he's nominated it as a clanger?
So, for me, it's a clanger.
Yeah, it's a clanger from me.
It's neither.
It's a total clanger.
It's one of their more mediocre songs. That's how I feel about it. It's not bad enough to be a clanger.
Mediocre to poor.
It's Muse by numbers, isn't it? It's like kind of if somebody said to like a band in like a secondary school who just got together and they're all 14 years old, now you need to write a Muse song. That's what they would
Oh, see, I disagree.
Yeah, I massively disagree.
Muse, I know I'm going to, I love...
Hold on, wasn't this my chip? Wasn't this my pick? Hold on.
Yeah.
Before you guys go off on pretty much emulating my exact opinion, I will have it first. Yeah, it's shit. Go on. I was a massive Muse fan. Massive. Dave's wrong in his opinion to previous Muse. So
No, I'm not. They're a bunch of Tinmouth jokers, but carry on.
See, look, he can't stop being wrong. It's almost like a disease. Anyway,
I saw them live. They were shit. I heard them on the records.
They
were
are not
shit.
shit live.
No, they're
I can't sing. They're free-chord cunts. The shitty mid-range rock music. They haven't got... I'm surprised you even like them. They don't have a nutsack. They're like Coldplay, but with a little bit of hardcore sprinklings on the top.
Anyway, I think it's probably because I was
put that on the back of the album.
They got some of the best bass lines in the business. But I don't know. For me, because I loved all the other albums before that, and then that single came out, and annoyingly, they're probably the most popular single. So when you hear them most on the radio all the fucking time, and it's just crap. There's no oomph in it at all. His vocal lines in the verses are just shite. It's just there's nothing to like about it.
Alex, what's their best single?
Hyper Music.
Yeah, Hyper Music.
I would
Absolutely
agree.
Hyper Music. Newborn's great.
I always quite like Bliss.
Oh, and Bliss.
Starlight is really good as well.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Knights of Sidonia.
I haven't heard the best one yet.
There's
But
just
carry
so
on.
many to pick from.
Nah.
We were overwhelmed with good singles then.
They're a great band.
Overwhelmed with singles to try and find something that was mid-range, and I got all shit.
This was
ones,
the
but-
beginning of the slide for them. I think they've released worse songs afterwards.
The beginning of the slide is when they picked up the guitar.
Is this worse than Knights of Sidonia? For me, yes, Knights of Sidonia is better.
Yeah, that one was better. And I still don't really like that one.
Oh my god. So that's an even worse
The
clanger.
ending part of Knights of Sidonia is a piece of absolute art. It is fucking wonderful. I think Knights of Sidonia is a massively brilliant song. I think Muse are great generally, but Muse do Muse by numbers more than any other band. Muse they self-parody more than any other band I've ever heard.
I think this particular track, I actually don't mind when Muse self-parody. Like their third album is an evolution on the second, is an evolution on the first. And this was the first time Supermassive Black Hole's is the only track on that album where they really try and do something different.
Can we explain the concept of them self-parodying? Because this isn't sitting right with me. So they understand that they're shit and they lean into it. That's
No. They have a sound.
Yeah, like Pearl Jam.
They have a sound. They're doing that kind of whole sci-fi prog thing, and they're kind of taking
like
it too
status.
far. They are like status quo of the prog.
Status quo know they're shit and lean into it, but that's funny. They're trying to do it and still be credible.
That's why this song that we're talking about is a massive black hole. Is a piece of shit. It's really a terrible song.
You could say it's a super massive black hole.
Yes.
But it's we've got to bash out another single. Oh my god, what are we going to do?
Do you not just think it's like Vertigo by U2?
Yeah, it's one of
Just
those.
Like a
Yes,
shit band being even
it's
shitter.
absolutely
Hang on.
Vertigo by U2.
No, it's a much, 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 much better song than Vertigo.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
better
Thank
song
you.
than Vertigo by U2. I'll agree on that.
I will actually go as far to say it isn't. That's how much I hate this song. And I fucking hate you two.
I would dance wrecked out my tits on like the last brain cell I had alive to Vertigo by U2, but I wouldn't be able to do it to Muse.
I just think you have an unnatural hatred of Muse, and it's just not on.
They're just wank. They're just wank.
They're
Never got
really
it.
original.
Never
They've got
got it.
great bass lines, good guitar lines, great pianist. Songs sound epically big. I don't see the problem.
Well, I'm not on board with the good stuff, so when you start bringing out the shit stuff, I'm way beyond the pale.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that.
So essentially, you two agree in a way because you both think
Yes.
this song is terrible. It's just that Dave
Yeah,
thinks their other
there's some
stuff is
point in the
terrible too.
spectrum where we're on board,
Yeah.
but
So you're agreeing, really?
at the higher end, I'm nowhere near.
We've just met in the middle of the line graph.
Yeah. I mean, Karl Marx and Hitler agree at some point in the spectrum. But
Yeah, that Muse are good.
I didn't know Carl
yeah,
was
they
such
loved them.
a huge fan.
Love them.
So
Couldn't get enough of
was Supermassive Black Hole a clanger or a banger?
it was definitely a clanger. I want to hear what Whittle had to say, because he's going to try and defend this awful song.
It's not an undeniable clanger, simply because I quite like it. It's not their best single by any stretch of the imagination, but I love the backing vocals during the chorus.
I agree. The backing vocals are great.
Melting in the dead of night. And
People talk about an
superstar.
old Kanye and a new Kanye where like his personality's broke. What I want to talk to is the old Whittle that wasn't so fucking upbeat about every song ever.
Well, I didn't really have many opinions on things. It was just either good or shit. So now I'm a little bit more nuanced in what I'm saying.
So, like, anything that wasn't funk and soul was shit. So I quite like that guy.
Prince has a massive influence on a lot of what music's done from the late 2000s onwards, and I think this is one of the songs where it's most notable.
It's weirdly their worst song, isn't it?
So this isn't their worst song. They got far worse. When you listen to like United States of Eurasia and that whole Queen and Prince worshipping stuff they did afterwards is far worse than this song.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it's
absolutely.
like with most bands, they get to that point and they release one or two bad ones, then you just chop the head off and say, right, that's it. I will only listen to these albums prior. And that's what this album did. Everything prior is still fair game.
Oh, there's still
This
Starlight on this album is fantastic.
Yeah.
They've ruined my trust. Tom. I'm not going back. They've ruined it. That's it.
Starlight's an amazing song.
Yeah.
Starlight is one of the best fucking pop rock songs ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
such a beautiful fucking
What
melody.
a horrible term, pop rock.
Well, yeah, I know, but it is. It's popular rock, isn't it? You know, it's a Foo Fighters song, isn't it?
Foo Fighters. Yes, exactly that. And people say, "Oh, I like rock music." All right, elaborate. You're like, yeah, I like Dave Grohl. Oh, okay, we're not going to be friends.
But no, Starlight. If I'd written Starlight, I'd be like pretty proud of it. Well, but Supermassive Black Hole, I don't know. It's
Same people.
but
like
I'd agree with Dan's point.
I didn't realise the Stone Sour Foo Fighters Venn diagram was that big.
The backing vocals on Supermassive Black Hole in the chorus are amazing. They're so good, and they've made
For that reason alone, it can't be a clanger.
basically polished a turd, haven't they?
It's got a redeemable quality, so for me, it's a no.
Yeah, it's a no.
How many
for me.
votes against it has it got?
So
you and Tom.
it's a no on this show. It has to be unanimous. So
I
it
know,
doesn't go
but
in.
who's against it? I want to know so I can
Me.
hold you accountable later in life.
I
Hold
think
me
it's pretty
accountable,
bad.
if you like.
But I don't think it's quite terrible enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a theory that
I'm
Tom's
close.
going to deny my banger, so I'm already thinking he's going to be 2 for 2 on that.
You never know.
I mean, I hate this is a redeeming. I hate it so much. I don't even care that it's unnotable. I want it to be that unnotable. So I'm happy to move on.
So yeah, we'll move on. The next one is one of Tom's picks. Again, I'm not going to reveal if it's a banger or a clanger.
Clanger.
The band is a band that probably we should drink to when mentioning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because this is the Deftones,
Oh, here we go.
Oh, God, really, Tom?
and the song is called "Change in the House of Flies."
Oh god.
It's from the 2000 album White Pony. Do we think it's a banger or a clanger?
It's a banger.
Obviously.
It's a banger, obviously. It's a beautiful song.
It's an undeniable banger for me.
Yeah, me too.
Banger. Easy for me, personally. What do you think, Dan?
I think it's an undeniable banger.
That's the right answer.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's just so good.
I like that you didn't give any backstory.
Go
nice.
listen to that
That's
album
nice.
again. It's
No
it's one
backstory
of the
at
best
all.
albums ever. It's so good.
Right, that's not what 14-year-old me thought at all. 34-year-old me thinks it's got real depth to it.
It just didn't have quite half the diversity that Newfound Glory had.
Newfound Glory, we're talking about all those girlfriends that kept breaking up with them, and that really resonated with me. Actually, no, it didn't.
And Stacey's mum had it going on, so you know.
Oh, that's that one.
Oh, now we're talking. Why is that on this list?
I nearly nominated Stacey's Mum by Fountains of Wayne. It was so close to being in there. My two choices, they're not these two choices, but they were nearly Fountains of Wayne, Stacey's Mum, and Tribute by Tenacious D.
I would have put Stacey's mum as a clanger for Fountains of Wayne because, like,
Which is why I didn't pick it, because I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, and I would as well. Well, I don't even realise what the fuck other topic we're talking about. Hang
I
on a
would
minute.
trust you to know their back catalogue. I thought it was like the only song that they were like the biggest one-hit wonder.
no,
band
they've
ever.
released like
No,
loads
they
of
were a really
albums.
cool
They're
band.
They were a really cool
They did
band.
what was that song? Red Dragon Tattoo.
Deftones are a step above the rest of the kind of new metal stuff that's coming out around
Well,
2000.
fucking yeah.
A lot more intricate than Korn or Linkin Park.
Let's not talk about the other one.
What? No, I'm not having anything bad said about Linkin Park. Just take that back right now.
I actually really like Linkin Park. I was struggling to think of a band.
I don't. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's carry on.
So that one, by general consensus, is an undeniable
Yes,
banger.
it is.
I got one on the list.
Well done, Tom. We'll move on to another song now, and this is Dan's first choice. The song is from 1995. It was the Christmas #1, I believe, in 1995, by Michael Jackson.
I know which one.
It is Earth Song. Do we think it's an undeniable banger or an undeniable clanger?
Bangs like a shed door on a fucking volcano. Let's go.
I actually think this is one of his best songs.
No! No!
I loved it when it came out. Like 8-year-old me thought this was like the greatest song ever.
That's why I picked this, because
White shirt, open to the elements.
Exactly.
Like, I think we've discussed this before, but it is a monumental banger. I remember because we were like 8, we were like in primary school, the school disco, and we were all hanging off the radiators like he does in the music video.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a fucking banger, man.
It is
It's
a banger. Absolute banger. It's not his like best song, but I mean, he's not really made many bad ones, so like...
They
apart
Don't Really
from
Care About Us is up there as well as a bang.
Yeah, that bangs, but I personally think that out of everything on the second disc of history, this is the worst single by a long
I
way.
imagine this was nominated as a clanger.
Here's the big reveal, okay? I nominated this as a clanger, and the reason I did that sort of is because of, like Al said, when I was 8, this was the best song ever. I loved it. I thought it was great. You just go, no. But now I look back on it and I go, oh, it's so simple. It's so boring. It's just him wailing for 5 minutes. And he's got so many much more interesting, much more enjoyable songs. 8-year-old me was wrong. This song is terrible. Get rid of it.
It is terrible. The chorus, it sounds like the Kaiser Chiefs wrote it, because all he does is go,
Which is amazing. It's like a Stevie Wonder rip-off.
No.
Yeah, but you can do it while singing well. Kaiser Chiefs just go...
It also takes a good 3 minutes to actually get into the bit that's decent with the bass and the drums. When that bass kicks in, the bass is awesome.
One of the best things I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's
one of the
called
best things
Patience.
I've ever heard in my life is the bass sound in that song is so good. The bass is just fucking phenomenal. Absolutely
There's
phenomenal.
nothing wrong with this at all.
it's
You've
a-
picked
it's a
out
banger.
a shit song from an artist where it's like so sparse to pick out shit
That's why I
songs
did it.
from.
Trying to be controversial.
Unfortunately, there's many other people with their head above the parapet, way above Jackson. And we've got our beefs with Jackson that we've addressed in the past, which have had to be heavily edited out. But the man knows a fucking banger. And yes, it's not one of his greatest examples, but
It's a good song.
I don't think there's a Jackson song I would put as a clanger. He's not done one, so
What's
I
that Paul
can't put it
McCartney
through,
one?
I'm afraid.
The Girl Is Mine is a clanger.
Yeah, that was pretty
It's an
bad.
absolute fucking slammer.
Oh, come on, Dave. Come on, Dave. Let's not.
The Girl Is Mine would be a
The dark
clanger.
girl is mine.
I would also say that Heal the World is a clanger as
Yeah,
well. I
I'll
think
go with
that's
that.
the worst
We
thing
used
he
to
ever
have to
did.
sing that in primary school assemblies. It's a clanger. Any song that you had to sing in a primary school assembly is a clanger.
He had his like regrettable religious I'm going to help African kids period, which this is a part of, but
Yeah.
it's probably his better example of his kind of like I want to help a non-existent kind of fucked up thing that we've created in Western culture from Africa.
Well, I think it speaks volumes because I actually found out in researching this that Earth Song was originally recorded in 1991 for Dangerous, but didn't make the final cut. So he then repurposed it 4 years later for History, and I think that speaks volumes because it is an outtake.
It speaks volumes to what? That Dangerous was so fucking banging he had to put it on ice for a fucking 5 years.
Yeah, but Dangerous had too many tracks on it as well.
Yeah, and was banging.
It was an okay album, but I think I
The
got...
worst song on Dangerous is not any worse than that song.
Yeah, it is.
It's like 1% difference.
I would say Heal the World and Earth Song are very much the same kind of dirge, and I don't appreciate either of them anymore.
So, hold on. So, has Bellin put this as a clanger?
I actually had this as a clanger
It's a
only
banger.
because
It's
he's
a
got
banger.
so many great songs. This is in his bottom 1%.
No, for the bass sound alone, it's a banger.
Reason I think I went for this was because we talked about having clangers from artists who were well renowned and who people thought highly of. So, who better than the King of Pop? That's why I went with this.
Yeah.
I thought it was controversial. I thought it probably wouldn't get through, but worth a discussion maybe.
No, you've hit the brief and you've done very well, but unfortunately...
Too good though. Yeah, that's fine. I can accept that. My next clanger is terrible.
A star and effort.
Thanks.
Next song is one of my choices. The song is from, again, 2006, a popular year this evening. The artist is Gnarls Barkley, and the song is called Crazy. CeeLo Green, Danger Mouse combining to make an R&B dance kind of sample made.
CeeLo Green, the soul machine, Goody Marg, motherfucker.
And it's a wonderful single. It was everywhere in 2006, but it's one of those that it could have easily run the risk of being overplayed, but never really quite got there for me.
It got overplayed for me, but it is a really good song. So, like, I'm going to sit here and say, if the other 5 of you go for banger, I wouldn't stop it.
I would probably do something similar because the production on him and with Danger Mouse for those albums were fucking amazing. And like that, like Gnarls Barkley period, obviously like a piss take out Charles Barkley, the credible basketball player from back in the day, and all those kind of like producer slams that went together. He was probably the best example of it, even like ahead of like Mark Ronson and MF Doom that did like producer collaborations and that sort of period of time. And although that was like the poppy single, the rest of the album fucking slammed and was really, really nice.
Was it Mark Linkous died and Danger Mouse finished off his album? Something like that for like Sparkle Horse, something like that. It was brilliant.
He's done stuff with like Premier and Jay Dilla and MF Doom and all those sort of cats. So it's like he cut his teeth big time.
Also around that time, he did the mashup of the White Album and the Black Album, the Grey Album, which was Jay-Z and the Beatles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about this song. Like, I'm a bit with Tom. Well, like, problem is with this song, like, I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's quite good, but I don't love it, so I don't know where that comes onto the vote. Like,
the only thing I would put ahead of this that came out at the same sort of period of time is I was discussing this with a mate the other time where he had Love Box and the Speaker Below.
Yeah.
Like as a double album come out right around the same sort of period of time. I think maybe a year
Speaker
before.
Box, The Love Below, it was.
So that album I would put ahead as like one of the genius albums that were released in that kind of time period and the same sort of genre and kind of same sort of thinking.
I think The Love Below is a better album than Saint Elsewhere that this is from.
I
would say The Love Below
it was
is a
up
better
there
album.
with that kind of. I was spinning this album at the same sort of time as that and put it on a fairly equal pegging, so I wouldn't deny it going in.
Martyn, what do you think?
I actually, again, it's got that overplayed thing where I heard it too many times on the radio all the time. But if it came on now, I'd be like, yeah, it's actually really good. It's just a really well-made song.
To give you a little bit of persuasion, Martyn, I think it's you saying wherever you work, you've got heart or fucking some bullshit on there. Whenever you hear one single, it's just like a rough diamond. Yes, it's been played to fuck, but I think during that period of time, I would have been in uni or working at a bar or whatever. And it was one of those songs that came on like, thank God, it's a break from the
Absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
It's been so long.
Drink.
It is one of those, it's like, you know, the radio playlist and that comes on and it's just nice to hear.
There's no way on earth I would search this, play it, or go and play it out.
I'd never choose
So
to
if
listen
it's played
to it.
to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember I used to like this.
I'd never choose to listen to it. I'd never go, oh, what do I want to listen to on my way to work today? Oh, I want to listen to that song. But if it came on the radio, I'd be like, yeah, this is fucking all right. It's okay, you know?
I mean, again, this is like this fucking episode in a nutshell. I would put The Rooster by Big Boy that was on Lovebox and the Speaker Below as a greater example of this type of music genre. But it's never going to get fucking passed because half the fuckers don't know it or give a shit about it. So I'll go with Crazy.
I think for me, like, I'm glad the song exists because it exists and it's there. But like, I wouldn't give a shit if I never heard it ever again, either.
This is what's fucked up about this process.
But this conversation shows that it isn't a banger because a banger to me is something that you can't be overplayed. You can listen to it 100 times and love it every time, and this song isn't that because.
But it's not a clanger
about
either.
3 of us said they're fed up.
It's not a clanger.
It's not a clanger.
It's not a clanger either. It's neither.
It doesn't have to be either.
It's in another world.
I nominated it as a banger.
I think if you asked me this question in 2007, after it had been overplayed ridiculously, I would have said, no, go away. I've heard it so many times, I'm not interested anymore.
No,
But now it's been 15 years, I'm actually like, oh, I wouldn't mind hearing that again.
That's why it's fucked. 2006, yes. 2007, no. 8, 9, 10, no. 2021, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
I personally don't feel comfortable putting this as a banger. Just based on this conversation, it's just we're not enthusiastic enough to be like, yes, this deserves on the list.
I would pass it, but I wouldn't feel good doing it.
I think we can all decide. We've all decided this is a good song.
It's basically the panic buy at the end of the night. You're at a nightclub and you. It's the fat chicken pulled, you know.
We now go on to one of your nominations, Dave.
Hey.
This one is from 2008.
Can't wait for this to be unanimously shut down.
This is from 2008. The band is Elbow, and the song is One Day Like This.
Oh my god, what a fucking horrible song.
Is it an undeniable banger or an undeniable clanger?
It's a clanger.
I can't reveal.
Clanger. And I love Elbow.
That's so weird, because we were literally just talking about Elbow, me and my girlfriend was having a fag then. That's really odd. What's the song called?
One Day Like This.
One Day Like This. It's potentially their big single.
I'm one of the world's biggest Elbow fans.
I can't reveal so everyone else decides, unfortunately. My mental health won't allow it.
I cannot listen to this song anymore. I hate it so much. I love Elbow with every fucking ounce of my fucking heart. But this song, just, my God. I went to see them live, and, you know, both times I saw them live, they played this song, and I was just like, I want to get out of here. It was just, it's the most fucking John Lewis advert, like, you know, Marks and Spencer's fucking, like, you will like this song, it's emotional, man. And like, fuck off. I despise this song so much.
Okay, I didn't want to interject, but now I've made such a fucking good argument, I'm going to have to. I didn't give a shit about this band, but I was forced to watch them as an opening act when I went to go watch Rolling Stones in Cardiff. They played this for an encore for fucking 10 minutes with the fucking chorus and on. And I wanted to fucking hold him underwater in piss till he stopped moving.
No, I love Elbow to bits.
So I think that might get you some way to where I believe.
So Dave loves this song. What about the rest of us?
I adore Elbow. I think Elbow are an amazing band. They're incredible.
Don't give a shit about any other bit of their work.
That overshadows all their stuff.
As in, like, I wouldn't recommend them for bangers or clangers. They're in the middle. I'm not really that bothered. But this, Jesus Christ.
I have to say, I actually quite like this song.
I quite like this song.
It's fucking horrible.
The chorus is shit and goes on for the whole song.
I know nothing about Elbow, but I put this on a minute ago just to remind me, and I do recognise this song, and I always hated this song, and I still hate this song. I'm with you. It makes me want to kill myself. Yeah, I'm not interested. Not in a way where, it's so deep and meaningful and it's depressing and a good... No, it's just shite. Get rid of it. Banger.
It's paint by numbers emotion. It's like kind of, let's all be together. Oh, that bollocks. And it's like, fuck off, man. That's not what I like out of Elbow. I like their early stuff when they were all depressing and shit, you know, and like, this is not the sort of Elbow that
you don't want hope in your music.
Right, I'm just very meh on it. Like, it's all right. Like, I don't hate it.
No, it isn't all right.
It's just, I've heard worse rock songs.
I can just imagine being, though, in Dave's position, waiting for the main band to come on, let's get excited, and then, oh no, we're hearing this 10-minute long, over and over again, repeating chorus.
What I'm waiting to see is, seriously, like, Rolling Stones, in the back of my mind, it was only like 5 years ago, I was thinking, these guys are like 70, it's going to be a shit show. Fucking, they were nuts. Jumping up and down the fucking stage, costume changes. It's like, how the fuck are these guys, like, smashing coke since the fucking 60s and they're still jumping up and down, doing all this shit, playing amazingly fucking good
stuff. And before that, you had to hear this fucking 50-odd-year-old man going...
I got two songs I didn't know or give a fuck about, and then loads of pissed middle-aged mums Prosecco motherfuckers that you described them. I'm like, fucking, where's Start Me Up? I don't want to fucking hear this shit.
For me, it's in the same realm as just most Coldplay songs.
It is a Coldplay song.
Just whatever, it's all right.
You're being too generous.
This was Elbow at their most Coldplay, I think. The most I imagine they went into the studio and go, how can we make this song as bland as fuck? Like, let's do that. Like, let's have this fucking, like, chorus that goes on for days, and like nobody's gonna like it, but everyone's gonna get married to it and shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good sound bed. That's what it is. It's fucking background bullshit.
I would
music.
like to know why Tom likes
Emotionally retarded fuck.
It's a terrible song.
There's nothing wrong with it, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's
I kind of don't really listen to anything bad in it.
no.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's all right.
It's got a decent guitar solo at the end. It's quite buried in the mix, but it's there.
The reason I hate it so much is because I'm such a big Elbow fan. I love Elbow to bits. I fucking love them to bits. And they came up with this bullshit, and I'm like, it's a bit like U2. I'm a big U2 fan. And like when U2 in the later years are like kind of, let's make this big anthem. It's like,
Yeah, they did some shit as well, and I'm bored with that. But
it's like kind of, let's do an anthem. Oh, yeah. And fuck me, man. Such boring fucking
to a
nonsense.
stadium rock argument again, Tom. So you're contradicting yourself.
Well,
Stoke the fire.
most bands do end up going down the stadium rock route eventually if they're around long enough. But it doesn't always have to be bad. And this track
was an example of that.
It's not going on the Clanger list.
It's not.
What's really cool about Elbow, though,
shit.
is that Elbow didn't carry on that vein. Like their albums that they did after that, they went back to their kind of like melancholy Manchester roots, which is the Elbow that I like. Like the last album was quite obscure. It was like there was none of that like inflated ego fucking like I'm the king of the world sort of thing going on. It was, you know, Elbow went back to like their roots and stuff, which is really nice to hear. But man, this song fucking sucks. It fucking sucks.
Doesn't suck enough to get in, so we'll move on.
Yeah, it's all right. I got 4 out of 6. That'll do me.
The next song on the list from 2005. We've got a lot of picks around that era.
It's just shit year music. Sorry, Dad.
The band is System of a Down.
Oh,
This is one of my picks. And
All right, Clang.
total Clang straight away.
and the song is
Needn't bother going any further.
the song is BYOB.
This is a quick one.
Clanger.
Yeah, total Clang.
I would have picked this as a Clanger actually, because this song just turned me off the band instantly.
System of a Down were never that.
The shittest band ever put to fucking tape. In
I
my
don't know.
eyes.
Toxicity was quite a good album.
Toxicity's got some alright songs on it, but
Toxicity is an alright album.
this is a bloated mess.
It sounds like it's been recorded by special needs Jewish Orthodox kids. It's fucking shit.
I don't mind System. I quite like Toxicity and the album before. I can't remember what it's called. They're self-titled. I think it was the debut. That for me was the song I went, you know what? No. Just as soon as they went that sha-na-na-na-na,
Yeah,
that was an instant fuck this song, fuck this band.
It's a terrible song, but get rid of it. It's gone. Rubbish.
So I think we have our first song that we all agree is an undeniable clanger.
100
It is a mess.
fucking
Awful song.
It's trying to be complex with all these different movements throughout the song, but the thing about a song that has a suite of movements where you go from one bit to another, those bits have to be good.
I like songs that do that.
It's for drunk, socially retarded people at a youth club at 2 a.m, drunk off snakebite. That's his only audience.
I think Dave's starting to selling me back on it now.
Yeah.
That sounds all right.
Yeah, it's a really bad song. So we have our first ever undeniable clanger.
By unanimous percent. I couldn't give you a bigger one.
Yeah. So well done, System of a Down. If you want to show up and claim your award in person, then unfortunately the Zoom call is full.
Every time something goes down as a clanger, we need this to soundbite it. Sha-na-na-na-na.
Please do that. Please.
It's a clanger. Sha-na-na-na-na.
Next up on the list is one of Dave's picks. This is from 1999.
Looking good.
A bit of ambient techno. It is Aphex Twin with Window Licker. Is it an undeniable banger or an undeniable clanger?
Absolute banger. Banger. 100% banger.
It's a bang from me, obviously.
It's a game changer for fucking music, man. Like, every single part of that fucking piece of music is perfect. It's just absolutely perfect.
it works even better with the video.
Yeah, the video.
Chris Cunningham's video is superb.
It's one of the weirdest music videos of all time. I remember it being on the banned list of videos on MTV2 that they used to have on late at night in around about 2001. And I remember it being on late at night and never making any sense of it because it starts off with like a 5-minute segue.
Yeah, of like limo pimp shit.
Yeah, and then it just goes into the song and it's all Richard D. James's face transposed onto all these models. And it's just the weirdest thing you'll ever watch. The music's unsettling and it goes so well with that.
I like the fact you can play a game with window licker.
Go on.
Do you whack off to it or not?
I think you can play that with anything that exists. It's not really a game.
It's a tough
you
wank.
shouldn't say
I could
that.
probably
It's a
get
pretty
there.
tough wank, man. But it's a well worth it wank.
I mean, the tune, if I had a completely unbiased audience, would probably be Ouroboros Ball by Square Pusher, which is a better example of like odd experimental
I love that
techno.
track.
But this is the more pop version of it.
I've never heard it.
There's a bit out that you would have heard, like I was the same. I couldn't remember the name of it, but there's a bit it was in everything. That's like
It's that like wall of synth bass at the end. It's used in a lot of soundtracks. It was quite popular. It's quite obscure though for an undeniable banger, I would say. So I think by measure of Al not knowing it,
It's undeniable for me.
it can't get through if Al doesn't know it. So.
I think it's good, but I don't think it's a banger.
To be fair, Aphex Twin, if you're going to mention Aphex Twin, it's a mark of quality. Aphex Twin has never released a bad piece of
Well,
music.
thank you, Martin. Let's move on.
No,
Not
I
gonna
want
get
to hear
bitter
mine now.
about
I just want to watch.
fucking Muse.
I just want to see Dave's face as he gets increasingly more annoyed about this.
Well, just the production is just so fucking well made. It's just so like sparse and empty that's kind of the whole point of it.
He's bringing nuance, Dadaism, and a more complexity to a genre which was basically formed on the back end of a black music revolution from Chicago and Detroit, gone to Germany, brought back again to the UK to be reformed in a more highbrow
Made
state.
by a guy from the
But you need
West
to have
Country.
known that journey to even get there. So don't worry about it,
Don't worry about
darling.
it. It's a David Lynch film in song form. That's what it is.
We're not highbrow enough for Aphex Twin, but I think this next song may be a bit more known to everyone. This is another choice from Al. This song is from a movie, so you'll all have heard it. It's called Eye of the Tiger, and it's by Survivor. Is it an undeniable banger?
I like
Is it
it.
an undeniable clanger?
This is the one I know Tom's going to say. Actually, you know how everyone likes this song? I never liked that much because I thought the bass was a bit too simple. It's a little too catchy for me to get into. They wear leather trousers that are probably a bit too tight. No, thank you.
It's everything I hate about music.
Yes.
Can't you just say it's just a banger? I mean, everyone likes the Rocky theme. You know, like, come on.
It's just power metal bullshit.
I'm with you, Tom.
It's so
It
good.
is just power metal.
See, I knew you two would agree with each other on this. I actually said to Whittle when I sent him it, I said, I know Tom's song I like and Chaz out Martin.
It's a bad song.
I'm in the middle. Don't hate it, don't love
It's a
it.
bad song.
I listened to it more because after Al sent it to me, I was like, I do think I love that song. So I listened to it and I've fallen in love with it more.
It's really good.
I've only heard it on building sites when loads of old men are singing it along with me, which makes you kind of get into it.
If you listen to it as a piece of music, which I've just done, then you can appreciate it without all the cliches and how it's overplayed and used in every montage. It's got a nice little piano bit that never gets noticed. The vocal performance is out of this world. It's amazing. And it's well written. The best thing about the song, though, is the music video, because if you watch the music video,
Yes.
It's got all the members of Survivor walking along, looking hard in the streets of New York, and then there's the keyboardist who forgot his leather jacket, so he just has a white shirt and some big glasses. He looks like he showed up to the wrong music video recording. It's wonderful. It gets extra points for me for that alone.
I just think it's quite like if you listen to it, it's actually quite like as far as that genre of music goes, it's quite understated. Like the bass is just dun dun dun. Like the drum beat's very simple, and even the riffs aren't going all over the place. It's quite reserved when it comes to that style of music, and I think it sounds brilliant. And maybe it's just one of the songs that has like so much nostalgia. I'm blind to it, but I don't know, guys. I think it's a really good song.
It's one of those songs that's like "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. It's just kind of, it's just not very good.
Yeah.
You're wrong about that song as well.
They're good songs when you're on the last brain cell of operation after it's like a heavy session. It's one of those songs like Come On Eileen or Boz Skaggs or that kind of like late night Neanderthal tune. But, you know, there's a time and place for it, and I enjoy that kind of shit.
I don't enjoy that kind of shit.
Like, there's a few more songs I knew would probably actually make the banger list that you guys would like, but I actually chose this one specifically to test how far you're going to take this crap opinion of yours, Martyn.
We'll move on to one of Tom's choices.
Clang.
It's Bjork, this really weird one you've never heard of, and it's got a...
I really did want to put All Is Full of Love by Bjork on this list, but I didn't.
I think the words that come out of my mouth next are going to surprise you, because up next for discussion is a song from 1996. It was called Three Lions, and it was done by David Baddiel, Frank Skinner, and the Lightning Seeds.
I am genuinely proud of you for this, Tom.
Well done, Tom.
You've surprised me. I can honestly say this is a great song.
Oh, no.
The fact that 25 years later, this song is still being regularly sung at England games means it has to be
Definitely
a banger.
Well done, Tom. It's about time you had a cert on the list, so well done.
I nominated this.
Okay, next selection.
Next selection.
I nominated.
Well done, Tom. Fine decision.
I nominated.
No, he's a great guy. He's a great... You often think, you know, that guy gets a bit boiled down in the tech out his music. He's really brought himself up now. He's one of the common boys. You know, he's up there doing 10 pints, shagging birds, watching England games. He's a great guy.
Order.
I nominated this as a clanger because this is a blot on the legacy of an amazing band.
The Lightning Seeds are fantastic.
I think it put them on the map.
It did, but it
made them money.
For the wrong reason. It did make them money.
So it could bring a country together with their uniform love for this song. Yeah.
25 years later, it's still uniting us.
It's a clanger. I may be the only one who thinks that.
Not for me.
Then one night in Rome.
You do have the award for the most opposition to a track.
Yeah,
So well done. Next.
Martyn, is it a banger or a clanger? Or...
It's football, innit? Fuck off.
I prefer 3 Lines 98 myself, but, you know, apart from that, it's pretty good.
The only good bit of the song is the hook, It's Coming Home, which is sung by the Lightning Seeds. The rest of it, why anybody thinks that getting Frank Skinner to record on a studio recording would be a good idea, I don't know.
Well, have you watched the programme that was quite popular when it was recorded in the 90s called Fantasy Football?
Yeah, I used to watch it,
Exactly
and
why.
Frank Skinner cannot
That's
sing.
why they recorded it, as a joke. They said, we're going to record a football song because there's not a good football song.
I'm sorry, I think it might possibly be the best football song ever. So,
That's not really a high bar.
Not as good as World in Motion.
World in Motion is the best.
Until there's a Tour de France official song, we'll have to go with football.
Jardin dommage, ma maison.
Bicycle.
Now we're just singing random songs. Let's move on to something else.
Banger.
One of Martyn's choices. This choice is also associated with football a lot. It's Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Is it a banger or is it a clanger?
Shit.
Clanger.
It's a pile of shit.
I think it's their best song. Put that on the record. Only thing I like by them.
And anyone that knows me knows my obsession with Jack White. I fucking adore Jack White and everything he does, but this song is just such a dirge. The most boring song I've ever heard in my life. When I first heard it, I was like, oh God, after they released I Fell in Love with a Girl and Dead Leaves and the Dirty Ground, I was like, White Stripes are great. And then they did this. I'm like, what the fuck?
So you just don't like the riff?
It's boring. Like, do you know what it sounds like? It sounds like kind of if I was teaching someone to play guitar and they were like, I want to play a cool riff, and you've got like a 10-year-old on a guitar, that's the riff they would come up with.
Yeah, like Smoke on the Water, yeah.
Yeah, it's totally Smoke on the Water.
Yeah, classic. I'm sorry, I've never been that big a White Stripes fan. Maybe because I'm a drummer and I have a hard time with the drumming on them. But like, I don't know how you can deny this. It's like this is like one of those all-time good riffs.
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic.
I agree.
I think it's taking a shit on the culture which he's completely stolen from, which is kind of slavery era blues. There's nothing to it.
It's just a very dull song. It's just it's basically Jack White going, "I've got to whack out a banger,"
and he succeeded.
Yeah.
His guitar playing and stuff. It's very, very pedestrian.
It doesn't cut the mustard for you.
Yeah, it's like stripped back and pedestrian. It's fine. Like, you're a fan of like LCD Sound System and DSG and ESG and all those kind of fucking. They're all influenced by that, which is the old school kind of mentality of like, strip it all back to the basics and we'll find the beauty then, which he has done.
Absolutely.
It's fine. But it's just unfortunate that one of his most popular tracks is like one of the shittest examples of what he's done.
I don't like the White Stripes. I don't like this type of music, but the riff is just so catchy and so simple, so iconic. Yes, overplayed. Yes, probably a bit annoying. But I'm sorry, it's too iconic. It's too catchy for it to be a clanger. I don't like them, but it's too okay to be in this.
It's too okay. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, but Martyn, what they're saying is they don't like the stuff we like, and on top of that, they like the shit we hate.
This is always going to happen.
We'll move on to the next track, which is one of your choices, Dave. This is from the Wu-Tang Clan, and the song is called Gravel Pit.
Because I like this song, so I've got a feeling it's going to be a clang.
I wondered if I was falling into that same trap.
Okay, well, we can just move on now.
It's not that good.
No, it's not.
It's not great for a Wu-Tang.
I quite liked it. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Dave.
No, it's fine. We'll just move on. We'll just move on.
I couldn't help but laugh because I was like, I think it's all right.
I'm surprised it's on either list.
It speaks volumes about how good the Wu-Tang Clan are.
Clang.
Wu-Tang,
Yes, the Wu-Tang Clangers.
This is not a Wu-Tang Clanger.
I actually crucified him earlier for suggesting Michael Jackson. I've suggested Wu-Tang for exactly the same reason.
Yeah.
I fucking love them. I go about them all the time. And this track, when it comes on, breaks my fucking heart. It was written for the shitty-ass Flintstone film. It was such a wanky example of a live-action version of a Hanna-Barbera cartoon that I fucking loved, on top of a band that I thought were like, to me, they were like royalty. It's like they invented a religion that I subscribed to that was some kind of version of Staten Island kung fu fucking gangster religion that I loved when I was a little skateboarding, weed-smoking cunt at 11 years old. And when they released this track when I was like 21 years old, it just crushed all of my dreams. But I can't hate on you too much.
No, I get it.
Because it's exactly the opposite end of the spectrum. You're saying you love Michael Jackson, you've chosen a shit song. This is like my heroes, which can do no wrong. When this came out, it would just like break my heart every fucking time.
I 100% get where you're coming from because I've listened to a lot of more Wu-Tang and yeah, it's very different, a lot more commercial, and to be honest, a bit rubbish. But I can't help but kind of like it still. You know,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Dave.
Back and forth.
It's okay. Like, imagine having my opinion, and then on top of that, people go, "Oh, what do you like?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, my favourite band's like Wu-Tang." And they go, "Yeah, Gravel Pit's cool, isn't it?"
I can see
It's
that.
like, I want to fucking kill you.
I totally get that.
Yeah, I understand, but it does have redeeming qualities. I mean, the hook from Method Man, the back and forth, which is interplay.
Yeah, it's nowhere near the worst track in the world.
No.
I do appreciate the sentiment, though. I think you're totally right with that. It's when a band lets you down, isn't it? I get that. You've almost convinced me.
The second verse on it is by Ghostface, and it's still Ghostface being Ghostface. He's still always awesome. So I can't hate the track for that alone. I'm not too keen on Method Man's first verse and You God's third verse, but the Ghostface verse is on point. We'll move on. Next up is one of your choices, Martyn, and this is the third Duran Duran track that you've picked for this show, I believe. The song is There Something I Should Know? And is it a banger or is it a clanger, though?
Bangs from me, no argument.
Yeah, it's just a perfect song. I struggled because when we were doing this, I was like, the clangers I had straight away.
You sent them to me like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I did. But the bangers, I was like, what songs do I listen to and go, that is the perfect song in every single way? And
It's same as me. I DJ, and I love fucking Duran Duran, and I have 45 records, so I have to pick the fucking tear to the tears. That is one of them.
How do you choose a Duran Duran song? I think I sent Dan like 2 or 3. I was like, no, I've changed my mind. It's this one. No, I've changed my mind. It's this one. It was Planet Earth.
This is the correct choice for people that actually appreciate Duran Duran and people that are cretins. This is the middle line. This is the median line.
I would have gone for Hungry Like the Wolf, personally.
For this reason, is 100% a bang for me because you've walked the fucking line.
I wanted to choose a Duran Duran song because I'm obsessed with Duran Duran.
If you're going to pick a Duran Duran song for you, which you've been trying like a motherfucker,
I have been trying so hard.
this is the correct
You had said
song.
Hungry Like a Wolf, I would have been with you.
This is the one, man.
But
It's
the
one.
criteria is we all have to know it and we all have to agree. And neither Al nor I nor Dan B had ever heard this song before. So it can't go in.
But you have now.
It's
But what's
great.
annoying is this is the correct selection.
But you
so
have
we're not
now.
putting a Duran Duran forward or not.
Personally, I think the only Duran Duran song that's possible to get in would
If you
be
say Rio, I'm going to fucking chin you.
Rio.
Oh, I like Rio. That's a good one.
I don't like it.
Yeah, Rio's great.
Let's stop the conversation here. There's no Duran Duran selection next.
I love their Bond theme.
Yes, that's
Due
true.
to a Kill is great.
So I think we can all agree that Duran Duran are definitely going through. Every podcast, I'm going to bang on about Duran Duran.
Duran Duran, they really deserve to be in the undeniable bang list for me, but I can't pass it myself. It's not one of their better singles.
Right, so you're the barrier beyond the barrier.
It's the backup.
Nice to know. Next.
Sorry, mine.
Let's move on to another band that we also like discussing a lot, because this is one of Tom's picks.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
If
my
it's
God.
what you think, I'm just going to turn the camera off.
If it's Smashing Pumpkins, they're not all bangers.
No,
to be
they're
honest,
not,
so you could have picked a
Wait,
dozen.
can I just guess? Is it Today by Smashing Pumpkins by any chance?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
I feel there needs to be a Pumpkins track on the bangers list. And Dave's gone and he can't answer back, so can we all just agree it's a banger and put it through before he comes back?
No, it is.
I prefer Cherub Rock, but it's good.
Cherub Rock is the Pumpkins' best song ever.
And it is a banger. Like, I was gonna put 2 Pumpkin songs on the Clangers list, but none of you guys would have heard them. Just like, I'll be totally honest. Like, I love this band for what they do well, but like Billy Corgan's solo albums are unlistenable guff.
Hey, turn on the language.
This sounds really weird, but I'm able to listen to their stuff objectively. I don't just go, when they're on form. When Billy Corgan is on form, they have written some of the best rock songs there are. When they're off form, like Zeitgeist in 2007, it's unlistenable bullshit. But this particular song is a great song. It's got a sing-along chorus, the lyrics are dark and about suicide, the guitar riff is memorable, everybody knows it, anyone can sing along to it. It's a great track, it is, and it's like it does deserve to be on the list, and then we never have to talk about Pumpkins again.
I agree with you.
I like it.
Today is one of the benchmark songs of the grunge era. So, like, if you had an alien come down to Earth and it was like, show me grunge, you would play them that song.
With Tom's selections, when he said about picking Cherub Rock, I'm glad he's gone for this one, because Cherub Rock would have no chance of getting in.
I like Pumpkins, and I wouldn't
But
have
it should
it.
get in.
This isn't going through either way.
No.
Because it's like a toxic waste sludge.
I think this
system
gets
going through the
4
middle
to
of
5
sewage
votes.
canals.
Doesn't get 6.
It doesn't. I think it's all over the place.
That's a shame.
I'd go
It
yes,
should get
but
through.
Yeah,
I
so
can
we got
see.
5.
I would say yes, but
No, I think it's a beauty. I think Today by Smash
There's no
Pumpkins is a
fucking way it
class
got
song.
This is a
Five.
great
Five,
song
what
to
are you
sing along
smoking?
to when playing Rock Band. For me, it's in.
I like it.
Great. But it's not in by our rules, so
Weirdly, I think that, like Whitell, who's not the biggest fan of him, I think you'd like their later stuff, or not later, but post Melancholy.
next up on the list is one of Al's picks. I think this is going to get some unanimous hate.
Should do.
I'm not even going to say whether it's a banger or a clanger, because, well, the band is Lost Prophets, and the song is Burn Burn.
Yeah, clanger.
Bang.
banger. Yeah.
chances are a lot of you guys wouldn't like Lost Prophets anyway, but
I love that
That first album is great.
exactly, we were coming off that album, which is amazing, followed by the first single of their second album, which was just instant shite. The worst bubblegum copy-paste, let's make a hit song ever. It sounded nothing like their previous stuff. It's their first step towards more commercial music, and it was complete and utter shite.
Do we have to
And
say
somehow,
it's because of things that the guy was allegedly or convicted of doing?
No.
Yes.
So it's ignoring that.
Okay.
Put a pin on that for a
We
second.
have covered
Right.
that on previous episodes. I
Okay,
think.
sorry.
Ignoring that, it's
Also, you did
which got
select.
deleted.
You also did select previously convicted paedophile as one of your previous selections, so you have to be slightly discounted.
Hey, Michael Jackson wasn't convicted.
I knew this was going to happen.
Sorry.
This is exactly why I didn't pick the remix to Ignition.
That song's great. I would pick that.
The thing is, I needed to get this out there. I needed to get through this before we can finish the podcast. So I try and move on. But Burn Burn by Lost Prophets as a song,
Terrible.
I really liked Fake Sound of Progress.
Everyone did. That's why this song's so bad.
Yeah,
Shinobi versus Dragon Ninja. There
this
was
is
some.
and shouting from the rooftops.
I never liked that one, to be honest.
That came out after this Burn Burn.
but there's
Though.
the last train home as well, isn't there? Which is also terrible.
Yeah,
I didn't mind that one as much, but
a bang.
that was because I was selecting through complete shite.
Yeah, I think this is the worst of the singles on the album, and I don't like any of the singles on the album.
I found it really funny when this album came out, how they made a big deal about the fact the singer had been having singing lessons. Do you guys remember that in all the advertising blurb? For
But
Lost
he
Pro-
didn't have any lessons to stop having sex with babies.
Hey, I'm not bringing.
That
But
came
we
out
were
though.
going away from
Wow.
that topic.
I was avoiding that topic.
I'm sorry, but like in the first album, at no point did anyone think his singing was like awful,
No.
did it? It was like, okay, he's not great, but it's a very unique sound. At
He's
least.
in a fucking progression of a punk band. Singing does not matter.
Exactly,
The
it's
whole
no one
point
cared.
of a punk band is to sound shit.
And then you had like singing lessons, and then it doesn't matter what, like if you got, it doesn't matter if bloody, I don't know, Michael Jackson sang this song. It's fucking shit.
Yeah, it's a bad song. Are we in agreement then? Is this an undeniable clanger?
Undeniable.
Banger.
I mean, Martyn didn't like the good stuff, so I mean, he's going to agree with us.
I mean, yeah.
We obviously, and we've said this so many times on the podcast, we separate the art from the artist as much as we can. We're not going to touch upon all the devious fucking evil shit that Ian Watkins did. But as a piece of music, it's pretty bad. So all I've got to say to Lost Prophets is la 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 la. Woo! So next up is another one of Martyn's picks. The song from 1991 and the album Nevermind is Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana.
Yeah, shit. Nice one, Martyn.
I already know he's going to say Clanger because he's already ranted about this
Yeah.
one being rubbish when he's obviously wrong.
Yeah, I actually like this song.
Yeah, well, it's not because you're wrong because it's a rip-off of 80s by Killing Joke, and it's also
I know, it's a
shit
rip-off.
Yeah, but no one
example
listened to
of
Killing Joke
grunge.
because, you know, they weren't that
But they
good.
fucking should do because they're a bloody good band.
Yeah, right.
And also Nirvana are also wank. So it's like a wank version of a wank band wanking all over your fucking teen ears in the 1990s.
Voice of a generation, Dave. Voice of a generation.
You're a voice.
Bird. Bird.
Back in the early
Yeah.
90s, I fucking was really into grunge and like the surf culture and stuff. And Teen Spirit was just like overplayed, obviously, but it wasn't the overplayedness that I didn't like about it. It was just the really boring, dull fucking chord progression that it has. It's just even Kurt Cobain, by his own admission, said the lyrics mean nothing. He wrote them on the way.
It's a safe song, isn't it, really?
He wanted
Yeah.
to write a Pixies song, and he did in that song. It's basically Kurt Cobain going, I want to do a Pixies song, the loud, quiet thing. It is literally like the most nonsense piece of crap I've ever heard, but it's held up as like this big kind of like, oh, revolutionary. Oh. The rest of Nevermind, if you put on Nevermind, but just skip that first track, it's a fucking beautiful album. And
The problem is, for most of us, that's what introduced us to Nirvana. And we liked it, and that's why we like Nirvana. Is why we're not why we like them, why we got into them. So you can't say it's terrible just based on that. Like, none of us are all hip enough to listen to Bleach. You know, like, You know, I think you probably might have, but like we didn't. Like
We
it's the
were
first time we
two.
ever heard Nirvana. Yeah, exactly. We heard it, thought it was great, and that was it.
I think you've kind of like made a really good point there, where I hadn't heard any Nirvana other than that song, and my mate was like, "You need to listen to Nirvana." And I was like, "Oh, it's the Teen Spirit band." I was like, "I fucking hate that song." He was like, "No, just listen to their other stuff. You'll get into it." And he lent me a copy of Bleach, and he lent me a copy of Nevermind, and I listened to the rest of Nevermind, and I was like, "Fuck me, man! This is one of the greatest bands of all time." And literally, they were. But Teen Spirit itself, that one song, almost stopped me listening to them. And like, I just think it's the most pedestrian, most like, it's got the 4 chords of doom for a start. It's just a very, very pedestrian kind of like grunge by numbers song. It's like let's do the whole quiet loud dynamic thing. It isn't very good. Whereas the rest of Nevermind is a work of, unarguable genius.
But it can't be a clanger because it was their first single. Popular single anyway. Like, so they had nothing to compare it to. So it can't be like, we can't go from like, this great band made this shit song. It was this band got launched off this song, and most people like it, if not think it's been overplayed to death.
I prefer something like In Bloom, but for me, like Al says, this is the song that they're synonymous with, and whether they like that or not, it's a bloody good song. It's really good.
I always hate when bands get funny about it. It's like with Radiohead with Creep. Like, oh, we don't like it. And it's like, well, why did you fucking write it and release it then, you pricks? You obviously did like it. You lying cretins.
I do agree with you on that, but in the long and the short, shit band, shit single.
I totally agree with you, Alex. To be fair, man, like, you're dead right, and so are you, Dan, as well. Like, it's like kind of the song that you heard that like got you into that kind of like scene or whatever. But for me, it's just like when I listen to it objectively, I'm like, it is the most obvious song. It's like kind of like if you go, give a 10-year-old a guitar and say play a grunge song, that's what they would come up with. It's so obvious and so easy and so like there's just nothing to it.
If you're drinking or if you're at a gig, you're going to bang along to that, though. That's what
to be fair, a
this is about.
10-year-old probably wouldn't do the G sharp to C sharp.
Oh, here we go, Captain Slow with this.
Okay, put it this way: without that song and having universal acclaim, there would be no grunge genre.
No, there would.
Well, there would have been, but no one would listen to it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been as big as it was.
No, you would.
It wouldn't have been like the sound of that, those 10 years,
It's basically Kurt Cobain going, I want to write a Pixies song. That's literally the whole thing. It means nothing.
I agree with you. It's great at the same time.
I think that's his intent, and I think Kurt Cobain always said that the song's not really about anything. And I've got absolutely no problem with people that write songs for no reason that end up being catchy. Another reason why I'm going to give this song some credit is because it gave us some wonderful live performances from Kurt Cobain going on TV shows, expecting them to be commercial, and he just sang the wrong lyrics, or sang it in a different key, or didn't, or they switched all their instruments around. I think there's a performance on Top of the
famous
Pops.
Top of the Pops performance. Yeah.
So I can't say a song is a clanger when it results in pop culture moments that are still important in live music performances today.
It just upsets me that like Nirvana had so many more like better songs, and they had so much more to give.
But it had so many worse ones. Like Polly's worse than this song.
Polly is not worse. Polly has a point. Polly's lyrics are fucking genius.
But it doesn't sound as good, so it's worse. It doesn't matter if he's writing about the most deepest shit ever. The song's crap.
And maybe it's because I only really liked Nirvana in like when they released In Utero. I think In Utero is one of the greatest albums of all time, in my opinion.
I like Heart Shaped Box.
Oh, that's a great song.
Yeah, Heart Shaped Box is incredible. Like every song on In Utero is real, and it's pure, and it's dark, and it's just depressingly fucking like harsh. But like Smells Like Teen Spirit it just sounds like nothing to me. It sounds like, and at the same time that Teen Spirit came out, Pearl Jam released Alive, which is like a heartbreaking song about about parental abuse, and it's just you kind of think, well, actually, back then in '91, when you're a teenager and you're growing up, that's what you want to hear. You want to hear the realness of the thing, realness of life. Teen Spirit was just an empty, sad fucking it was just, the chord progressions were not good. It's just kind of like a throwaway thing.
Still the best wrestling entrance music of all time. Diamond Dallas Page.
I think CM Punk and Cult of Personality by Living Colour may have something to say about that.
Good too.
Actually, no. John Cena's got the best one now. Everyone knows it. It's great.
Or that period of a few years in WCW when Hulk Hogan used Voodoo Child.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll move on because now we're talking about wrestling again.
NWO.
We can't allow Smells Like Teen Spirit to be classified as a clanger.
Sorry, Martyn. I get where you're coming from.
But like many songs we've had this evening, it's I think we're approaching this as bands we love and singles we're less fond of than others, or perhaps are still popular with non-fans of the band. Similar to that Wu-Tang thing. And also, I was doing a bit of research before we did this, like you do. And according to Rolling Stone, this is in their top 10 greatest hits of all time. And while I know they're sort of appealing to the masses in that kind of article, I just think anything that can be that widely considered as a good song can't be a clanger. And it's one of those where it's my band, they've changed, I don't like this, or it's my band, this song's different to the other stuff, I don't like it. And I think we've got very similar stuff with Wu-Tang. I've got one coming up probably, which is, it also falls into this category where it's a band we love doing something that is too mainstream for our own liking.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point, man. I really like what you said then. That makes a lot of sense in the sense that, like, I'm very passionate about the music I listen to, and whenever a band does anything that is slightly mainstream, I'm a bit suspicious of it, and I think you've hit the nail on the head.
On the head.
Boom.
Next up is a song from the album Nimrod by Green Day.
Where we put this?
What a great album.
Perhaps their most mainstream hit from a public conscious. It's Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. And it's Dan's choice, but has he picked it in the banging category or the clanging category?
Picked it as a clanger. It's the worst track on that album, and the album would be better without it.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, like, it's a bit overplayed. It's probably the most, like, commercial sounding song, and I probably wouldn't want to listen to it anymore now because I've heard it so many times, but I can't deny it. It's a really good song.
Yeah.
It's a lovely song. It's a fucking lovely song, man. It's real. It's absolutely 100% authentic, and I love authenticity in music, and it's just like, it's cool, man. Like, it's just, Billy Joe Armstrong is just like going,
raw.
This is what I'm feeling right now, and like he's banged it out there. It's really, really fucking good.
I like it.
Will I reveal whether I nominated it as banger or clanger? I actually did go banger.
Yeah, I thought you would.
The reason I think, like Martyn said, is it's a song that I think there's a lot of passion behind. Song that has a lot of, I don't know. It gets when you're in the audience and you hear him sing it live. There's something really powerful about that. Everybody's singing every word. Everybody's joining in. Everybody's loving it. It might not be one of the better songs on the album, and I agree with Tom in that regard. I don't think it is one of the better songs on the album. I just think it's a really important, meaningful song that everyone can get on board with.
If you're going to like a ballad, it'll be this sort of ballad you would like.
It's not Green Day in the sense of traditional Green Day, but it's a ballad, yeah, which they don't usually do. They've only got a couple, but this is a fantastic song. We're discounting anything after 2006-ish.
The way I look at it is Billy Joe Armstrong has obviously had like a bit of a tough life. You can tell like through his songwriting, and this is just one song where he's like just wants to celebrate life and just go, do you know what? Everything's fucking okay. You know what I mean? And that's what touches me about it. It's like you've had a hard time, but fucking hell, I'm okay now. You know what I mean? And that's a really nice thing to hear.
I don't think it's going to get banger though. So Good friend Thomas doesn't like it.
I really like.
Not sure about Dave.
I really like it though. I listened to it again for the first time in ages. Actually, I hadn't heard it. Sat down and listened to it for a while. I really love that the subtlety in that intro of the misstart where he plays it wrong and then says "fuck" and then actually goes into the song. I just love that.
It keeps it authentic. It's very authentic. It's such authentic.
Or
song.
is it contrived? I don't. It doesn't on the record. It doesn't feel sincere to me when I listen to it. I think it's the way his voice sounds singing that sort of music. It sounds like they do that deliberately because that's the sort of thing those American bands would have done. It doesn't feel authentic to me. It doesn't at all. It sounds like it's designed to be like that. And that's why I really don't like the track.
Well, it was designed to be like that because they, wrote it, but like there was a design in.
It's like that whole play it and get it wrong and say fuck and then play it again. I don't think they left that in. I think it was put in there.
I don't know. It feels really authentic to me, and that's why I like it.
I think it's a song that's looking back on things, but then also looking forward with hope, and that's what I really like about it.
Actually, I've changed my mind. As soon as you described it as that, it did sound contrived and rubbish. I'm looking back, but also forward with hope. That sounded so wanky, didn't it?
I agree completely, but it's true.
I'm not saying what you said was wrong, but when you hear the premise out loud, you think does make you go, maybe that was just contrived.
You hear it at the end of a gig, and you come away going, shit, yeah, life's all right, actually. I'm going to go and attack it now, and now I'm sounding even more wanky.
Wrong. Life's shit. It's rubbish.
But it touches on that too. I think it's this, and for me, I also like Macy's Day Parade is a similar sort of feel, kind of ballady song that they did in their not too late terrible phase. I just think there's a reason they still have this as their sort of ending song all these years later. It's a banger.
It came from Nimrod was 97, I believe.
Yeah.
Was Nimrod the album that had like Geek Stink breath on?
No, I think that was this one before. Insomniac, wasn't it? Insomniac was my favourite Green Day album.
So 97, Green Day was still very much a indie punk band. They hadn't had any of their mainstream hits. This was their first real mainstream exposure. I don't approach them with the same cynicism as I would a track that they've made in 2005. I think they were authentic at the time, and they were genuinely trying to reach for something different, as opposed to let's add that in because it will sell us more records. If they'd recorded it in 2007, then totally.
Oh no! See, Dookie came out before Nimrod, didn't it? Yeah,
Dookie's my favorite Green Day album.
Yeah, and that came out well before, and that sold a lot. Like that was sold
it wasn't
really
mainstream.
Well. It was mainstream.
Yeah, but Good Riddance, like it's sort of thing. Like if someone gets knocked out of the World Cup, you hear it get played on BBC. You know what I mean? Even to this day, it's still popular. Like, if being honest, I thought that might have ruined it for some people. And to be honest, it has a bit for me, but it's a good song. I think it's nice. It's nice. Yeah.
It's another Seven Nation Army, but I just feel like it's just a bit more authentic. It's fucking nice.
Dave, any thoughts on Green Day?
I don't mind Green Day, but it's definitely not the track I'd put forward. Anything off Dookie, Paradise, maybe I would have put forward as a banger, but
yeah,
nah, not for me. Cheers. Bye.
Let's discuss someone else who gets a kicking regularly on this podcast.
Oh, I love giving Tom a good kicking.
One of Tom's choices is a Wings track. Now, this was the first single in the UK to sell more than 2 million copies and was number one forever. It was Mull of Kintyre by Wings. Is it a banger or is it a clanger?
It's a banger.
No, it's not. It's probably the worst song ever recorded.
Wonderful song that basically rips off Old Lang Syne and puts a bagpipe solo in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's got all the recipe for a wonderful arrangement.
It's the worst song ever recorded. Paul McCartney has spent his entire career post the Beatles proving that John Lennon was the guy who wrote all the good stuff.
This is a great example.
I'd like to say that Ringo wrote a lot of good stuff.
I was always a Ringo person.
I'm a George Harrison guy, personally.
Nah, it's all about George Harrison. George Harrison.
Yeah, he was the man in the Beatles for me.
Yeah, if you're looking at what they did post Beatles, George Harrison's stuff with the Travelling Wilburys is fab. John Lennon did some good solo stuff, but he also did some awful solo stuff. Paul McCartney, his poetry book's quite good. I got bought that by somebody, I think as a joke, but it's actually quite good. But I don't think he's made... I would quite comfortably say I don't think he's made a single good record.
I don't think it's that bad. It's not that good.
It's one of the worst songs ever recorded, without a doubt.
It's
I
not.
don't know. You've given me a few recommendations which have been worse.
I doubt that. I sincerely doubt that. You wait till the bagpipe solo and you'll realise that it's awful.
Why are you assuming I just like bagpipe solos?
Don't go off on about bagpipe solos, man. Bagpipes are fucking amazing.
They are.
They're not that amazing. Come on, let's not go over the top.
I think that the bagpipes, they add, similarly to what we were discussing on the last episode, Tom, about Angelo Badalamenti, when he's got those synth chords where it's played on a synth, but there's those dark, bassy synth chords underneath. Bagpipes should, in theory, sound like that, because it's got that high end and the low chords below them. But they just fall the wrong side of tweet, and it instead of sounding unsettling and dark, they just sound like, oh, Scotland's got that marching band out again. And that it's just underwhelming always, and I hate the bagpipes. Sorry to any bagpipe players listening. Please don't send me your material.
I fucking love bagpipes.
I'll go with Clanger just because Paul McCartney, like Tom says, I quite like some. I've been listening to quite a lot of Beatles recently, just to get into them. I feel like I should.
Oh, yeah, I like the
it,
Beatles.
but everything I've heard that isn't a Beatles with him in it is atrocious. It's really shit. So I'm just going to go with Clanger just as to write off the man's career.
I don't think he's done anything good. I mean, even when Wings are at their best, it sounds like two different songs cut together. Like Band on the Run has a great chorus, but the rest of it's ambient, like it meanders. And then it cuts to the chorus. There's no bridge. It's like they've recorded a chorus and they've recorded a verse and then stuck them together. And that's how all of Wings' best songs sounded, which doesn't make for a cohesive album. So you've got that issue. And then his solo albums are generally rubbish. So yeah, Clanger. Without a doubt.
Right,
and it is the worst song on this list.
Oh, that's a stretch.
I can guarantee.
No, Burn's worse.
Oh, no, I think this is worse.
I would say... Yeah, go on then. Let's put it through.
I will also put it through on the basis that, to me, it sounds a bit like Mistletoe and Wine by Cliff Richard, and I hate that song as well.
Yeah. Weirdly, I get that. So, and yes, I also hate that song.
It's a banger.
He has spoken.
Right, okay.
I love bagpipes.
Really? You're going to stop it on this entrance because it has bagpipes?
Hey, if you can pick a more wicked bagpipe solo, then I'm a whiz.
But anything by Early Corn?
Yeah, true, yeah.
Which we stopped on the way through.
No, but they're not solos, you know. I don't really feel the artist come through.
I would say the best use of bagpipes in a song, I don't think they're real bagpipes, but the J. Gills band with Centerfold. Yeah, that's probably the best one.
Oh god, that song should be on a Clangers list.
We'll move on. Looking at all of the selections, I'm confident that this one might do quite well. The next song is one of Dan's picks, and it's from a little-known act called Jay-Z, and the song is 99 Problems. Is it a banger or a clanger?
I like it. It's
an undeniable banger.
I actually really like it. I don't like this. I'm not always comfortable with loud swearing in music.
Oh God! Like, are you
too
scared by
sexual for
traffic
you,
lights? Like what?
Okay, so
I've seen you
I am
drive,
now
actually,
forced to
fair enough.
interject. You know this song is a cover, right? 99 Problems is a cover of a track which Ice-T did with his high school band called Body Count. So the original track is him talking about pimping back in the day, and him the whole intro to the track is horrendous. It's like, I got a bitch in the south, I got a bitch in the west, I got a bitch that likes to rub it off and jack it in the chest, I got a bitch in the east, I got a bitch in the south,
It's very
I got a
relatable.
bitch that like to take my hole and put it in her mouth. And there's the whole chorus is like, I got 99 problems, but the bitch ain't one. And Jay-Z ain't a real pimp, but fucking Ice-T was a real pimp. So it's kind of a rip-off of somebody that's coming from like the reality of the streets but isn't really got that. So I love Jay-Z's version. It's fucking great. But I love Ice-T's version. But the ultimate version is the version that Ice-T's done in the last like 10 years with his band from college called Body Count. And that version is fucking banging.
I'm going to listen to that when this is over because that sounds amazing.
Hardcore punk.
I like Body Count, so...
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ice-T. I fucking love Ice-T.
But it's hype. You listen to the original Ice-T version, it's a bit like pussy rap. You listen to Jay-Z version, it's really good. And then there's like some kind of bullshit they did with Linkin Park or whatever.
One of the first albums I ever bought was Ice-T's Power, and he's just like, he is literally a pimp. He's like, he was influenced by a guy called Iceberg
Oh
Slim.
my, right, Martyn, shut the fuck up and I'm going to get off you now. Iceberg Slim had a book out called Pimpin' Ain't Easy, which is Iceberg Slim hit a guy in the head in a bar over a bitch with a fucking ice pick, and that's why the motherfucker got his name. He has a whole obituary at the beginning of his book, which rolls you through all kinds of like really disturbing terms about pimping that I won't get into, which is misogynistic and fucking mental, which are talking about like mileage on a hoe. So one of Iceberg Slim's amazing quotes is he can look a bitch in the eyes and see whereabouts she is. He reckons like you can take 500 cocks before you go mental, so he can fucking call it between 1 and 5,000 from where you're going to kick off and stab the pimp. And he knows when to get out and get in. And he also has another term called a bottom bitch, which is your first bitch that you turn and she gruels all the other motherfuckers. So yeah, Iceberg Slim is cold as shit. And Ice-T took his fucking name from that. But yeah, like...
But he was really nice on the Joe Rogan Experience, so I quite enjoyed him on that.
According to the official Cacophony Sessions Fact Checker 3000, that is correct. So I've just verified that it is indeed taken from the Ice-T single 99 Problems. But still the question remains, is the Jay-Z version an undeniable banger?
Yes. All versions are hard as hell.
I haven't heard the other two. I will. But the Jay-Z versions, yeah, it gets you so hyped.
Any version comes from the club and I'm calling mileage on a hoe.
Yes.
So it's a yes from me.
Yes from me.
It's a yes from me.
I'll let it through because it's banging, but only on the proviso that when we leave, we're watching fucking Body Count.
So I'll take that. Tom.
Yeah, go on then.
This is where I reveal secretly this was one of my clangers. No, it wasn't. It was a banger. I agree.
This song has 99 problems, but being an undeniable banger.
It ain't one, motherfucker.
Oh, no, it's not.
Dan, any reason why you wanted to pick this track in particular?
It's just the kind of song that if it comes on, you have to listen to it the whole way through. It's never getting skipped, ever.
It's not even my favourite song on the album. I think that would probably go to Dirt Off My Shoulder. But yeah, 99 problems. Next up is one of my selections. This is from 1995, and the song is called Wonderwall, and the band is Oasis. From the album What's the Story, Morning Glory. Now, have I selected it as a banger, or have I selected it as a clanger?
You've obviously selected it as a clanger. It's falling into the same category again, where it's a band that have got some good songs, and you think they're all right from what I know of you. But that song is overplayed and mainstream and just generic and a bit boring.
It's still in the top 50% of their songs.
Wonderwall is the Britpop version of Teen Spirit. It's kind of like all the fucking football lads like love it and like, oh yeah, this is a song I like, really like this, man, like Oasis and stuff. But
I'm sorry, I like Wonderwall. Sorry, I do like it. It overplayed 1,000 times and I still like it. I'm sorry. I appreciate it's developed it's very cheesy, but I'm sorry. I think it's good.
What list was it on for you?
For me, it's possibly the worst song of all time.
It's definitely
It's
not the worst
only
song.
slightly better than BYOB, but I think it's got the worst chorus ever for a popular sing-along song. That monotone.
Which is why literally everyone sings along with it.
It's got no melody. It's just the droning sound from Liam Gallagher going, maybe.
That's just how he sings on all of their songs.
Yeah, but he doesn't, because from What's the Story, Morning Glory, which is my favourite Oasis album, there are so many different types of songs on that. I mean, the title track, What's the Story, is Morning Glory, is not anywhere near similar to Wonderwall, which isn't anywhere similar to Champagne Supernova. They're quite different. It's probably their most varied project. And I love singles like some might say, I think, is my favourite Oasis song by the same measure. But Wonderwall, for me, of all the singles on that album, just does absolutely nothing. It never did. Even when it came out, it wasn't a case of it being overplayed. I just hated it from the start. And it's a song that I think has been covered many times, and I find every single cover version adds something better than the original.
I just think you're having this opinion because you've overheard it. I don't think you'd hate it so much if it wasn't the degree of popularity it has got. You know what I mean?
No, because I listened to it for the first time in probably about 5 years.
Yeah, but it's one of those songs you don't listen to for the first time ever again after its initial success. You can't. It's like
it was every third song on the radio was Wonderwall.
Exactly. Like it doesn't. Like I could not hear it for 30 years. And I could start being just burned into my head. Like
it's not bad enough to be in this list.
It's overplayed, and I can understand if you think it's a bit generic and a bit wanky, but it's definitely not. It's not clanging material. Like it's the only song that's popular for them in America, isn't it?
It's total clanger material for the same way that Smells Like Teen Spirit is a clang material. It's like
it's not as good as that, but it's still not that bad either.
It's just a bad song.
I prefer it to Teen Spirit. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but I do like that song. Being overplayed isn't enough for me to dislike it. I do just think it's good.
Interesting?
I respect your opinion.
Interesting aside, because you hear loads of people saying, "What is a Wonderwall?" Do you know where Wonderwall comes from? It's the title of George Harrison's debut solo album.
Oh,
okay. So that's quite cool. That makes it better.
So the story goes, he wrote Wonderwall. He had all the music, and he had the lyric, but after all, you're my something, and it had to be 3 syllables. And apparently, they were sat round, and he saw George Harrison's album on vinyl and was like, "That fits," and that's why it's Wonderwall. But all the other words were there already. So Noel Gallagher said on a documentary about Britpop, and you never necessarily believe what he says, but that's what he said.
Okay.
No, I like that story.
Yeah. So it's not a clanger, no.
We'll move on because we've only actually got a few songs remaining to discuss this evening. The next up is another one of Dan's choices, and making their second appearance on tonight's episode is Green Day again. This time they're accompanied by Cacophony Sessions favourites U2. The song is called "The Saints Are Coming" from 2006.
Oh my god!
I don't know it, but it's already a clanger. I don't know the song, but those two bands together, I'm voting for it as a clanger, even though I've never heard the song.
It's as bad as you'd think.
It's worse than that.
I don't ever want to hear it. Nothing about Green Day and U2 makes me want to listen to it.
I remember hating it back in the day, but I can't remember much about it now because I just never listened to it again once I heard it once.
It's the worst of Green Day being infused with everything that U2 ever were. Wank.
Oh, Martyn, are you going to just sit there and take that?
No, I love U2 for bits. No, I don't know the song.
It's actually a cover of a Skids song, which I did listen to and is vastly better. But it starts out with the lyrics from House of the Rising Sun and gets worse from there. By just measure of it somehow fails to be a Green Day song and fails to be a U2 song. So you don't get any of the decent elements of either band. It's just two bands coming together. I think it was recorded as a charity single for Hurricane Katrina.
Is that why they didn't get saved quick enough?
They said, just let it take me.
I genuinely think it's why hurricanes still happen.
I really need to go back and listen to like U2's praised albums because I have such an overwhelming hatred for them.
The Unforgettable Fire is a great album.
I got a couple of
But
bands.
people that love U2 love them. So I need to understand. I need to have a.
Listen to the early stuff. Early U2, it's fucking amazing. One of the greatest post-punk
I need to give it a go because I
bands,
need
in
to
my
at least
opinion.
extend an
I think
olive
they're
branch just to
fucking great.
understand.
Yeah, like Tom said earlier, Unforgettable Fire. My God, every song on that album is fucking perfect. It's so good. It's got the song Pride in the Name of Love.
I've heard some of their big singles. I still can't stand them. I have such a hard time even understanding why. I can understand people liking them, but I don't understand why they were so popular.
Yep, I'm exactly like you.
Because they were so good. They were so good for a while. For a little while, they were so good.
Survivor just come out. Everyone was happy with Eye of the Tiger.
That banger.
A lot of these songs become famous in context. So, like, Smells Like Teen Spirit would not sell a gazillion records if it was released tomorrow. But it did in 1991. And so U2, if they brought out their songs now, I think With or Without You would sell as many records as James Blunt, but it wouldn't give them a 20-year career. Whereas in the late 80s it did. So I think that a lot of U2's fandom is because of the time. There's a temporality to it, but they were in the 80s a very, very good band, and then Bono disappeared up his own arse, and the rest of them forgot how to play instruments.
Seems like a good place to move on.
Is that a clanger or not?
I don't think it can be if people haven't heard it.
I've heard it, and like, can I just speak on behalf of the group that it truly can be? It's honestly,
We can't just nominate or put ourselves as spokesperson for everyone else.
No, honestly, you underestimate how turd this song is.
It is really
it's
bad.
So
Clangers
bad.
are different to bangers in that you shouldn't have to have heard a clanger. You can hear a clanger once and go, yeah, that's terrible. I don't think that rule should apply to clangers in the same way it does to bangers.
Dave, what do you think? Have you heard it before?
Yeah, shit.
So we'll allow it in. If anybody does have any complaints about us allowing that one in, then get involved on Twitter or...
Bono and Billy Joe can fuck off if they've got problems with that.
Next up is one of our picks, and we have a band from the 90s called Jamiroquai, and they released a single called Virtual Insanity. Now, is it a banger or a clanger?
I think we all know the answer to this.
Banger,
Martyn probably is correct.
Banger.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a banger.
100%.
It's an undeniable banger from me.
What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, it's from me as well. I would pit other songs ahead of it. But
I would too,
Yeah.
but I just thought I'd pick the one that everyone knew the most. And I mean, does anyone dislike Jamiroquai? I haven't met one person that doesn't think Jamiroquai are pretty good.
I don't like Canned Heat.
Canned Heat's all right, but that's, I think, one of their poppier
Who
singles.
doesn't
And
like
one of those bands,
Jamiroquai?
they're nobody's favourite band.
It is a good song.
They're your gateway to
A lot of the time, they'd be a good starting place for somebody who's more into indie to get into funk. So yeah, I love Jamiroquai. This is a great single, especially the album version with the jazzy interlude. I'm imagining we're going for the single version, but I'd pass either version.
I just have whatever's on the greatest hits. That's why I listen to Jamiroquai. I've got that CD and just listen to that all the time.
Yeah, you're that kind of guy. I get that vibe.
That kind of guy. Play it loose, you know?
If it doesn't put you in a happy place listening to Jamiroquai, then you're dead
I'm
inside.
the sort of guy that likes a bit of foam on the bottom of a sweet, you know? Just that type of guy, you know? It's like a Haribo crocodile.
Foamy sweet motherfucker.
Yeah, you know? Just that kind of guy.
This is one of their better records as well, Travelling Without Moving, which is when they still had Stuart Zenden on bass.
Yeah, Stuart Zender, what a great fucking bass player, man! Like, just one of the best bass players of all time. And the track "Traveling Without Moving" as well.
And Function's great.
I don't stand in the way of this. This is good. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, undeniable
Jamiroquai in
banger
there.
for Jamiroquai.
I knew that would get it.
So another choice, because that one's fairly straightforward. I think that's unanimous.
It really is.
Yeah.
I think that's the quickest we've ever decided.
Yeah, we like Jamiroquai, and I'm sure they'll come up again many times on the podcast. I look forward to discussing them. Next up is one of my picks, and this is a song that everyone hopefully will know. The song is called Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and it's by a band from 1985 called Tears for Fears. It's one of my all-time favourite songs.
Absolute banger.
Hate it.
Again, if I was to put the tune before them, I love the band. They're absolutely fucking beautiful.
I could have gone for Change. I could have gone for Mad World, but not everybody's familiar with the Tears for Fears version. I could have gone for Head Over Heels, but then I don't think everyone's as familiar with
The
that.
correct choice.
To be fair, you probably should have gone for Head Over Heels, because that is like
I
their
agree.
best
I
song.
agree. Head Over Heels is better, but I think in terms of cultural impact, I think Everybody Wants to Rule the World. It's still relevant now.
Ahead of Mad World.
Oh, yeah, it's their biggest song in terms of popularity. It was also the song that made them massive in America. It was one of the biggest hits of 1985 from a small indie band from Bath. So it made a massive, massive cultural impact. The lyrics are about it's about the Cold War, but they're still as relevant today as it was then. I don't think it is massively entrenched in those 80s production sounds. It's got big gated drums, but I think it's got nice guitar work on it. The massive, massive blaring keyboards are massively overbearing, but I think in a good way, because they really help force the song along. I don't see what's not to like about Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
It's got that 80s stadium rock vibe that I really don't like.
I'm putting it forward because I want Head Over Heels.
I thought you might have gone for Shout.
I do get why Tom's coming from here. Like, I don't really like that kind of overblown 80s. Like,
You nominated Duran
thing.
Duran.
Yeah, that's also...
Yeah, to be fair, Martyn.
I'm consistent. I don't like either.
I'll be honest. Like, I absolutely love this song, but the problem is it's kind of cheated because I've got this such extreme nostalgia for this song, because when we're growing up, during the Eric Cantona years of Man United, I was the biggest Man United glory supporter of all time. I used to do my hair like Eric Cantona, wear my collar up everywhere. I loved Man United until they started losing and I lost interest in football. But that's how much of a glory sport it was.
You were everything I hated as a 7-year-old.
Yes, I was everything you hated, right? But I had a Man United video which I got from the Man United shop in town, and it was just a compilation of every good goal and every good player they'd had since pretty much video cameras existed, and it was just playing over playing out with music over the top of it. And annoyingly, every song on that video I absolutely adore, and most of them I have no idea where it's come from, who the artist is. This was actually one of them. I don't know who wrote it, but I just had a quick listen and I was like, yes, that there. Unfortunately, if it's on the Man United video, it gets a 10 out of 10 from me. So 10 out of 10. It has such extreme nostalgia. I'm sorry, I can't.
Can we just go back to the fact that there was a Man United shop in Plymouth city centre?
Yeah,
What
amazing,
the fuck was that? Anyway.
No.
A bunch of unloyal cunts that went with the Green Army.
I wasn't loyal. I wasn't. But it introduced me to a great song. So it all worked out in the end, didn't it?
It is a good song, and I think it has got that depressing edge to it that we're talking about. It's all about everybody wants to rule the world, but they can't because we're all pawns and fucked. I like it, but I understand the reservations.
Yeah.
Big Status Quo was on that video as well. That was a good one.
But I'll put it through as Tears for Fears, man. Fucking love it. I'll put it through.
I might listen to more of them, actually. I enjoy that song so much.
Unfortunately, we're not going to get it past Tom.
Yeah,
though,
Thomas on the Man United video.
so we'll have to lament what could have been. We're into our penultimate song of the evening. This is one of Martyn's picks, and it's by a little-known post-punk band called The Cure. The song is called Just Like Heaven. And is it a banger? Or
This is the most 100% bang. Can I just have a 2-second mute?
It's an undeniable banger for this reason. Every second of that song sounds perfect. It's just it opens with that the dun, dun, the bass line and the drum beat, and you kind of you're straight in there. You are literally straight into the song, and then the guitar comes in It's just beautiful.
You've just described any
just
other song,
fucking
really.
gorgeous.
It starts with the bass riff.
It starts up straight away, and then there's some bass, and then there's a guitar.
What happens is some music starts playing, some people sometimes sing, and everyone's enjoying it.
Oh, mate, and they're singing.
Like whole genres of music have been invented from this song. It's just so perfect. It's so like concise. It's like a little slice of life.
The lyrics are very good.
Everything about it is so good. It's just kind of like a little 3-minute fucking slice of
I would
life.
say it's their most popular sounding like song. That like what their singles. And I don't know.
Friday I'm in Love, come on.
Yeah. No. To be honest, they're on par though. I think they're similar, like levels of commercial.
My problem with this track is the lack of the chorus, because The Cure write great choruses. You go through, you've got like Boys Don't Cry, which I think I brought up on a previous episode, on our special episode.
The special with David.
I did, yeah.
Great song.
So you've got Boys Don't Cry, you've got Pictures of You, Friday I'm in Love as possibly one of, I mean, it's cheesy, but it is probably one of the best pop choruses, you know?
Oh, I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And my problem with this track is that it doesn't, and Pictures of You, Lullaby, everything off Disintegration, the whole album's wonderful. I mean, the synth sound on Plain Song, you know, we could easily put 10 Cure songs on the Undeniable Banger list.
I agree.
And I don't think, if I had to pick one, I don't think this would be the one.
I disagree.
It's still a banger though.
Oh yeah, it's still...
So I think we can all agree it's still good.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just trying to be clear on this. I'm not saying it's not good.
No, I get it.
I'm just saying I would be a bit annoyed if we put this on and then we didn't put Pictures of You or Friday I'm in Love on there. And I think
Pictures of You is a beautiful song, and it is probably my favourite Cure song of all time. Pictures of You is fucking it's an undeniable banger. But Friday I'm in Love is like a little bit too happy.
You don't like hope in your songs, we've established.
Yeah, I don't like hope in my song.
I'm also going to say, now we're actually recording again, that I actually like the Dinosaur Jr. version of Just Like Heaven better than the Cure version.
I've never heard it, but I know you're wrong.
It's a really good version of that song, but like it's just like the heartbreaking fucking guitar line. It's genuinely heartbreaking. It really hurts to listen to, if that makes sense. It's like kind of Just Like Heaven. He's singing about like
Heaven,
the best day of his life with, like, you know, some woman he was with once, and like kind of you listen to it and go, yeah, like
you just listen to it and just go, yeah. Where's that from? I swear it's from a film.
just fucking listen to it, man. Just fucking listen to it.
So it gets a yeah from me.
Beautiful.
Well,
Like Heaven.
we don't have a Dave
It's
to
like
say
Heaven.
anything, but Dan's been very other Dan, new Dan. New
Dan.
Dan's been very quiet.
I think the reason I've been quiet about this one is because I don't know loads about The Cure. I know this song, and I know Friday I'm in Love, and a few probably others that I wouldn't. I know that I know them, but I don't know what they are. If that makes any sense.
You'd
I
recognise
get
it
it.
if you heard it.
Yeah. I like this song. I've got no problems with it. I think I prefer Friday I'm in Love, but again, I like them both. They could both go on this list for me. Martyn, well done. Congratulations.
So I'll do Dave. Oh, it was ripped off by a soul singer actually in the 60s.
The 1860s.
In fact,
You've got to keep this in, Dan.
It's going in. Hi, Dave.
originally it was off a B-side of a, I don't know, Slap Taylor's album.
Slappy Taylor.
Pope Earl the Seventh once said, "This is just like heaven."
Hang on, let me consult the fact checker on that one. The official Cacophony Sessions fact checker 3000 says you're wrong.
Never mind. Shut it up.
But we'll move on to our final song of the evening, which is one of Dave's songs.
Oh, God.
Not getting in.
So I know what his standing is on this particular song. So I will tell you what it is, and you have to tell me, has he nominated it as an undeniable banger or an undeniable clanger? Now, this song is from 1996. It is a G-Funk song, and it is Regulate by Warren G, featuring the one and only Nate Dogg.
Oh, yes. Banger. Straight away.
Never heard it in my life.
Such a great sample.
Really?
You're joking,
denied.
really?
No.
Oh man, that's going to really hurt Dave, that one.
It's a beaut.
I think it's perhaps the most important of all the G-Funk songs. If you kind of ask somebody to put on what is the best of the early to mid-90s G-Funk, and it's all about the Nate Dogg singing on it, because it's his best performance. Everybody associates G-Funk with a Nate Dogg hook, like he did on a lot of Dr. Dre stuff, like the next episode, that kind of thing. This is, for me, his best performance. The late Nate Dogg, unfortunately, he's no longer with us to provide those kind of hooks. This, for me, is a top tier performance of a featured vocalist on a rap song, to the point where he overshadows Warren G. The Warren G bits are almost superfluous in the structure of the song, but it's just an undeniable banger. Unfortunately, Tom doesn't know it.
What I listened to then, I don't dislike, but no, I've never heard it before.
It's
got to go in.
A really good song, isn't it?
It's got to go in. It's like the story of, like, you know, he's like a fucking G, and he's like gonna save his friend's life and stuff. It's just fucking brilliant. Everything about it is great. It's got that whole Curtis Mayfield vibe about it. It's fucking lush. It's just that whole, like, LA kind of, like, you know, blue sky.
Yeah, it's kind of like feel with a lot of rap artists of that time, isn't it? But it's just the best of it.
If I ever go to Los Angeles and I ever get to the airport and need to be taken from the airport to wherever I'm staying, I hope that I open the door to whatever vehicle I'm going to be travelling in and they play this, because I couldn't think of a more perfect way to welcome 100% to Los Angeles than this song. It's G-Funk personified.
It is. It's a song about Los Angeles, isn't it?
Culture,
you know?
yeah. It's about regulators who would sell stolen goods from burglaries.
Not just like the lyrics, but like the sound of it. It sounds like
it makes me think of like GTA San Andreas straight away.
I think it is in GTA San Andreas.
I'm not joking. I so wish Dave was here right now just to have a brain aneurysm when Tom said he'd never heard of it. It would have been so good.
Yeah.
Like I thought we finished him off with a few of our ones we hadn't heard, but oh my god, he might have quit the podcast. like I'm not joking. That would have really bothered him. That Tom, you told him this would have been a drunken rant and a half. I tell you, he would have absolutely skinned you.
I honestly haven't heard it. It's like what I listened to then. I don't dislike. I just don't know. It's not a style of music that I ever wanted to listen to, because it doesn't, like, I know you have a go, Alex, about how a lot of the music I listen to is just intros. That's how this style of music feels to me. It doesn't go anywhere. So, like, the music that I listen to that is just an intro spends a lot of time getting to an end point, whereas I find that a lot of this sort of chilled rap music has no end point. I'm looking for a payoff. Like, it's why when I listen to electronic music, I was really into that whole indie electro thing, because it always, and dubstep as well, because it always had a drop. There's always a payoff. And the thing I find with this style of rap music is there's no payoff. I don't feel like I'm being rewarded for my time with a big chorus that gives you that rush of endorphins. And that's why this style of music has never really done it for me, because I'm not looking for a piece of music to, like, get stoned to. I'm not looking for a piece of music to get me on a dance floor. I listen to music as a listening experience, and I want that moment, that euphoric moment, of that cathartic moment of, like, huge amounts of noise pummeling me in the face. And this style of rap particularly never does that. And so it's why
I think some of it can be too laid back.
There is a lot of that type of music where...
Yeah, and that doesn't appeal to me. And I think I've been analysing what I like and don't like about music. So I'm like, why don't I like a lot of the stuff that you guys are? And it's because a vibe of a piece of music isn't enough for me.
That's what we should call you. We should call you Vibeless. Yeah. That should be your nickname.
I want
like that you've actually nailed it on the head. Sorry, Martyn. But you actually you don't get vibes in songs. You you've completely just altered how I think about.
You need Al to be your vibrator.
I need a melody. It doesn't need to be a vocal melody, but there needs to be a melody in there. Otherwise it just turns. And I think that's coming from playing classical music for like now 30 years. You know, my background is classical, so I've always come from having a melody to hook onto, and it's why I don't like opera, because the vocal is non-melodic a lot of the time. So if you go and watch an opera, loads of parts of the opera, there's the big choruses and the songs, but most of the opera is sung, and it's quite amelodic, and that's why. And what's going on underneath isn't always that interesting, and it's why I don't like that. And so a lot of the music that I don't like is because it doesn't have a hook and it doesn't have a payoff or a drop. Like, you can have a vibe for a while, but I want it to go somewhere. Either there needs to be progression, or it needs to be short enough that I don't get bored of the vibe. So, like,
it needs to have an arc.
Either an arc or be short enough not to be a problem. So, like, your album that you nominated for Album of the Year last year, that's only 16 minutes long. Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed that. I gave it quite a good score.
Gulch.
Yeah, Gulch.
Gulch, yes.
I really enjoyed that album because although a lot of the tracks didn't go anywhere, they never outstayed their welcome. Whereas I find it really hard to listen to 6.5 minutes of a rap song that is one drum loop. You know,
that's where me and you differ all the time, because a lot of music I don't like that you listen to is because it takes too long to get there. But you like the journey. For me, I'm just like, God, bloody get to it, Jesus.
I like the fact that it goes to a destination, whereas a 6.5 minute rap song, there is no destination. There's just a sound for 6.5 minutes. And I would find that really difficult. I find that very difficult to listen to. I also find swearing in music can make me a bit uncomfortable. Certain types of swearing, like I find referring to women as bitches makes me really uncomfortable. And considering that that's like 90% of rap music, I find rap can be very, very difficult to listen to.
I think it would be difficult to listen to if it was in a modern rap song. I think, but from songs of the time where people weren't woke.
I know I still found it difficult even then. I mean, it was even as a teenager when it was still acceptable. I always found it really difficult to do. I realise that that listeners can't realise I'm doing air quotes. So when I say acceptable, there were air quotes around that. I always found it very difficult to listen to. Hence, why a lot of the stuff I listen to doesn't have any lyrics at all.
So I think that's all 24 songs covered. A few bangers got in, a few clangers got in.
Yeah, how many actually did get in? How many bangers did we get?
Can we go through the list?
I believe we got Just Like Heaven, Virtual Insanity, and Change in the House of Flies. So we got 3 bangers.
Oh, and 99 Problems.
Oh, and 99 Problems. So we got 4 bangers for the Undeniable Bangers list, and we will be adding a new page to the blog for the Undeniable Clangers, of which I believe we got 2. I believe for Undeniable Clangers we got BYOB, and we also got
Burn,
Saints Are Coming. Oh, Burn.
We got Burn, Lost Prophets, I know that.
So it was Burn. The Saints Are Coming didn't come in because you hadn't heard it.
Trust me,
I think it's on. It's got to be on.
It's on in spirit, at least.
I imagine we'll be revisiting this subject at some point in the future to get a few more, and they will be added to the list naturally as we cover other topics as well. So, on the subject of which, what are we going to be discussing next episode? I know, Dan, you had an idea.
Yeah, I did. I was thinking about covers, and I had a few different ideas around that, as either covers that are better than the original, or just covers generally, which covers are good, which aren't. So I thought covers might be a good topic.
I really like covers that are better than originals. I like that.
I can name you a few straight off the top of my head.
You can't ruin it, but that'd be one where we'd have to get to listen to it beforehand, just so everyone knows.
Well, we would have to do the homework for that one.
Yeah, we have to do a bit of homework.
Oh, is that Dave?
We're watching the webcam to see if Dave comes back, but his
Here he
wife's
is.
just come in. There he is!
He's back for the end!
You missed all of it, Dave.
Now that you're just joining us, so we passed Just Like Heaven by The Cure in your absence. You don't get a say on that anymore.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And that's fine. Unfortunately, your final pick of the evening, Regulate, didn't get through because Tom's never heard it.
Oh, for
I know.
fuck's sake.
I said...
Everyone else said yes.
I should point out, Dave, that I did listen to a bit of it and went, I've never heard this before, but I do quite like it, so you can try and put it through again next week and it might work.
No. Return to sender job.
I'm glad you weren't here for it, Dave, because I said to Tom, like, if Dave was here, he would have had a meltdown. Like, it's a really good song, and everyone should have heard that.
So we'll be back with another
Tom.
episode. Hopefully I won't be interrupted as much.
By the way, sorry.
Right, somebody else do the outro. Do you all know what our Twitter handle is? Do you all know where we can find?
So funk it is. If you want to get our Twitter handle, it's Nonscast.
It's actually at Cac Sessions Pod. So if you could follow us on there, find us on Facebook with the Cacophony Sessions on there. Leave us a review, subscribe, do whatever you can, get the word out there, because it keeps us talking shit like this all the time, which we love doing. So we'll be back with our favourite cover versions in a few weeks' time. Until then, all that remains to be said is, you know the drill by now. You've got to stay funky. Bye! Woo!
Bye.
Bye, everyone. It was fun. Yeah, boy. I had the time of my life.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Sha-la-la-la-la.
Right, that was a shambles.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't sing because Claire's in the other room. She's actually just gone to bed, so I couldn't start screaming, but, well, I don't know now.